YouTube saying fade, and I just clicked on go live. So.
Let's see. Logging on. Let's see what we got here now.
Cool. Engage.
What's this? And
The stream should be live on my channel, Lord Immortallix.
check. The application. I don't have YouTube. Oh, that makes no sense. Apparently on my PS4. The footage? Nah, that's not right. Alright, we're just gonna have to type it in. There's a way. How to access the internet. Let me access the internet. Yeah. Yes. No, it's not browse internet on PS4. Select internet browser. Alright. Let's see how long. They got two different types. They got YouTube TV and two types. Yeah. Download the first one. Alright, TV channels. Oh, that's right. You paid that, what, a $4.99 shit? Was that one? Or was that something? No, was that the ad?
I think it's just like 10 or 15 bucks. It's just TV channels, regular YouTube.
Let's see. Settings. System. Alright, let's check this out. Boom. Alright. Now we're looking in. Now we gotta see how long it's gonna take, Mr. Tips. Yeah, I just got finished watching your Sam Heidecker shit. I don't know what the fuck. The black one had me dying. Fucking just at the Asian one won though. Cool. Okay. All people. Oh my gosh. See. Yeah. Let's go.
Yeah, World Peace is the show that they have.
Unfortunately. Yeah, no, totally. That's the plan, right? So what's this? Alright. This is it. Speedrunning right there, Metroid Zero submission, that's it, right? Are you moving? So you're in the Samus ball right now?
Yeah, I'm just letting the little intro be played.
Yeah, so view live stream now with live chat. I don't. Okay. I'm guessing if someone chats, you'll see it.
Yeah, it should pop up. I don't think anyone else in the chat. But
Wait,
yeah,
live.
the chat.
Okay, I see what you're saying. So I got like, dislike, live chat.
Yeah.
I got to sign. That's bullshit. I don't want to sign in again. Yeah. Okay. One watch. Like this. That's so they have the dislike button here. That's perfect.
Yeah, you get dislike, but you can't see how many dislikes.
Still okay. So they were pretty thorough. Whatever. But yeah, I see everything. So we good.
Okay.
See everything. 99.
Let's start the game then. Start
Sound
from the very beginning.
Oh, nice. Yes. Curvature.
That's one of the endings you get for beating the game under 2 hours.
Wasn't there like how many endings were there? Wasn't there a lot?
Yeah, there's like 8.
Yeah, 8 endings. So you have to play the game 8 times. Like that's what. Or
Yeah.
could you just like get to the last part and then just choose a
You
different?
gotta start over because there's like different difficulty settings and everything.
Talk about prestiging or whatever. I mean, if games had that, I mean that would be more fun. But
Yeah.
like
I mean,
that would take too.
At least for this one, it's a short game, so it's not that bad.
Right. Panels. Yeah, I forgot her origin. Was she like conceived by like a human and alien at one point, or was she adopted by him? I think
She was adopted, really killed her
Yeah.
parents.
F the parents will take your daughter. Like, where was she from before? Grooming, breeding, who knows? Unfortunate.
Yeah, well, yeah, these bird people,
Yeah.
like the statue I was just sitting in. I don't know if stream's caught up yet, but yeah, they're like bird people, and they take Samus in and they infuse her with their DNA so she can survive on their planet.
Yeah.
Which also gives her like a little bit of like super strength and agility and stuff.
Alright.
And
Yeah,
this game I'm playing right now, this is the first game, so this is technically her origin story.
Okay. Yeah, so yeah, I think I'm a couple seconds behind.
Yeah.
So I just got off the boats and now you're just jumping up on those platforms.
Yeah, so those bird statues, they tell you where to go. I just
Nice.
try and skip past those because I already know where to go.
Right. Speed hacks, or what's it called? It's like a TA.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna do a few sequence breaks in this run. Yeah, you'll see one just now. I'm supposed to go up, but I'm just gonna try and go back the way I came from. That long beat. Gotta give her one beat. So yeah, you start the game with like a beam that doesn't even go like all the way past the screen. So your first one is the normal beam. Oh, I'm setting this stuff up.
No.
You might have to fight this guy again. Because you get like exactly, he takes 3 shots to kill and you get exactly like 3 chances to hit him.
That's funny as that. Peak. Those frames matter.
Yep.
Basically.
Yep, he ran away. Then I have to get him next time. We'll get him next time.
No. Okay. My gosh. Oh. Oh my gosh. I can't. You put up a valiant fight.
It's only because I totally forgot to hit him in the missile the first time. I just shot him with a regular beam and he closed his eye.
So it's a missile, then beam, missile, then beam.
No, you just hit him with a missile every time, but I forgot to hit him the first time.
So it's just gonna come out at a random interval and then just like try to end your life again.
Yeah, he'll. There's a room. There's like 2 rooms away. He'll come back again.
2 rooms, okay, that's not bad.
And I think you have like 3 chances total, and like to kill him. So if you don't kill him in the 3rd time, you never see him again, and you never get the charge beam.
Wow. I wonder how people felt when like they just played the game and they thought they had everything and they didn't.
It's even worse on hard mode, because on hard mode, the missile tanks only give you 2 missiles each, and it takes 3 missiles to die. So you definitely can't beat him the first time on hard mode. Like you have to wait for the 2nd time.
Yeah, they thought about that. Missile capacity increased. All right.
Yeah.
Let's see. Boom. 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 All right. Yes. You did.
God.
Charge me. Wait. I'm seeing a lot of Legend of Zelda movies. Crazy. Is there like a new Zelda coming on or something?
Next year, yeah. The sequel to Breath of the Wild.
Alright.
They've been working on that since like 2018, I guess.
Oh my god. Game's gonna be lit. I'm still waiting for a multiplayer Zelda.
That would be nice. Even just like co-op in the open world. That would be.
Get Toon Link and original Link.
Excuse me.
Or you get some. Or ready to get the one where it's like that vintage like 80s Link.
Oh yeah, cartoon Link.
Yeah, I get that. Oh boy, Link.
Well, I think this one's gonna take place like mostly like in the sky, like in floating islands. So you guys are like pushing off Zelda, like excuse me. Just falls through it.
Right? He's like, I promised. Or if he pushes him down, really. Yeah.
We gotta guess after you sweep all of him.
After you make out with him. Oh man. But Link, you promised that you'll fill me up. I hate those games so much, bro. Like, there's a lot of crap. They made Zelda like so thirsty. I can't even mention it. Nor will I. But the main one is like when she got like a augmentation, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So it's like I keep seeing everyone. It's like y'all bunch of horny motherfuckers, bro. But his face though, his face when it says I promise, I keep dying when I look at it because it's like there's like not a care in the world as long as he fulfills his promise. He's like, kill all these orphans. I promise. He's like, oh. There we go. Ooh, missile, calm. Oh, squeeze in there. Squeeze.
Yeah. I messed up a little bit. I usually get up on the first try, but.
Yeah, like, what do you have to play in order to optimize these type of strats?
What was that?
What kind of frames do you have to play to optimize these strats?
You gotta be like, well, you don't have to be frame perfect, but you gotta be. It's just the D-pad I'm using right now because I'm playing on the Wii U gamepad, so it's not. It's a good D-pad, but it's not the best. Or is it? I usually play this like on the 3DS, which has a much more suited D-pad for this game.
Yeah, I got you. More suited D-pad.
Yeah, well, I can't stream from 3DS, so.
Can you imagine? That shit is gonna wait. It's gonna explode. Hey guys, what's boom? Like, oh shit.
Hey guys, what's going on? Sick guys in my head.
That's how I make a bomb, guys. How you make a bomb. Stream with the 3DS, and not talk about the newer one, the older one, like the first one. Crazy. Yeah, that's a weird eye. Oh my gosh.
Yep, that's the mother brain.
Just looking at her disrespectfully.
Disrespect.
Imagine we were able to control our iris like that. That should be wild. Like we hate someone, so it just goes narrow.
Goes into an arrow, and then they appear on your iris.
Yo, that would be wild. That was scary. Like, how do you drive? Like, all you see is that person wherever you look. It's like, oh well, yeah. Wow. Let's see. Yep. Good job. Boom, boom, boom. In and out. Perfectly executed. I like what I'm seeing.
Okay.
A criteria. Crayons. A lot of crayons. Remind me if there was like a Game Shark for this.
For Game Boy Advance?
For this game.
Yeah, they have Game Shark codes from. This is a Game Boy Advance game, so.
Oh yeah. I like the Infinite thing.
Yeah, I used to mess around with cheats.
It's kind of crazy. Like, how does? I never understood how Game Shark worked. It's like, did they work with the developers?
Oh no.
To then like
the product wasn't even like licensed, so. Like I bought, like when I bought a Game Shark from GameStop, like they did fully warn me. He's like, "Yo, this isn't licensed by Nintendo, so it might like destroy your Game Boy Advance." I was like, "What?" I don't think that's how that works.
But you sell it anyway.
Yeah, right.
And then, but so like the mechanics of the game though, the Game Shark, it's like, does it see the codes and like does it model? Like,
so
that's all I want.
Like when you're like testing a game, they call it like debugging.
Yeah.
And there's usually like what's called a memory address.
Yeah.
It's a like a really really long set of numbers that like constantly changes for like every like pixel on the screen that you're like occupying. So what the Game Shark does is it just finds some memory addresses of like, let's say your health or your missiles or whatever.
Yeah.
And it'll just be like, all right, change that to 99 or infinite or whatever.
Infinite. Ah, okay, that makes sense. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, you're gonna see me fail at bomb jumping. Normally when I'm playing this on the DS, I bomb jump all the way up there before the platforms appear.
Yeah.
But I didn't get the timing right this time.
I got you.
So I had to take the noob's way up.
Looking pretty good there, man. There it is. Alright, so let's see. 1, 2. Power grip. So power grip just allows you to shoot while on a ledge or something?
Yeah, and you can grab ledges and climb up on them.
Who knew that was an ability, not just like a natural born trait that I had? Go figure.
Well, in the game that came out before this, it was a regular ability. But I guess since they're like, oh, well, this is a remake of the first game, so we have to explain how Simon Scott got the ability to grab ledges.
You forgotten it? Like, that makes sense. And Tyler will figure out how to do that in like a heartbeat. Like, I don't understand. Samus is, just an augmented humanoid at this point. Yeah. Augmented millions subspecies. I know Naz will have a field day with her if they ever find her.
Yeah, she's like pretty much like a superhuman, like a Captain America type superhuman.
Oh, don't ever compare her to Captain America. They both balled out, she's kicking his ass. Like, I'm gonna let you know that right now. Captain America has the shield. I respect that. He's smart, but this is an blaster that transforms a body.
He's not bulletproof, and he's definitely not laserproof.
Exactly. Even in her base form, like, no. I mean, if they were hand-to-hand combat, alright, but everything armed up, nah. But then again, he got vibranium, so like if she tries to shoot something, it might just bounce off. So
yeah.
Yeah. All right. So that might be a fair fight actually. As long as he doesn't throw his damn shield, he's fine. If she uses no, she. But then again, she has that grapple hook thing in like Smash Bros.
Yeah.
So maybe she can take that off of him and then. See, or actually, no. Maybe if she fought the black version of him. You know that guy. Maybe mop the floor with him because I don't think he took the Super Soldier, did he? He didn't take the serum for that one, right?
They have
Right.
the what, Falcon and Winter Soldier TV show. I don't know if he takes it in it though.
Right.
He has like a full outfit at the end of the series.
All right. And from what I heard, like not a lot of people survived the serum, so for them to replicate it. But then again, that was
Well,
like
they give someone else to it in the show. There's this guy named John Walker. He's like celebrated military man, has like 8 billion medals and honors and whatnot. And then
okay.
they don't even explain it. They don't even like care to explain it. They're just like, oh, some random scientist perfected the super soldier serum, so like anyone can take it now.
Oh my gosh. Even to the government to do something like that.
Yeah.
You just can't be special. Everyone gotta be special.
Yeah. I mean,
No,
like
no.
a lot of that's how all the Disney Plus shows go. Like they're just like, oh, we don't want to deal with this, so we're just gonna write something convenient for it.
Yep. No character development or nothing. Someone can be a complete tool and have the powers of Captain America. All right. Like screw the brain, screw the heart that he had, and like the looks or whatever.
Yeah.
Imagine like, wait, did Bucky take the serum or did he just have augmented arm?
I think he got like a Russian version of the serum.
Okay, a Russian version. Oh, that must be more potent. Nah, Russian versus American. I don't know which is more potent. I think Russian's more potent because he did give that man a run for his money. So I'm not.
Yeah.
Woo! Yeah, I can never. It's like, and then they got the Black Panther version where he took it from an herb.
Yeah.
But that herb is more potent, I would argue, than Captain America's because
they do that again in Wakanda Forever. They're just like, oh, we found a way to synthesize the flower that they got rid of in the first movie.
It's like 98%, right? 98%. She made it. It's like they found the way that they found it was kind of weird. It was like
it's almost like getting rid of it in the first movie was a really bad idea or something.
exactly, but no, it was Killmonger's idea. That's the thing.
Yeah, but I mean, they didn't have to write it that way.
Right.
Like, oh, let's get rid of the thing that our character revolves around in the first movie, and then let's immediately undo it in the second movie.
I mean, here's the thing, though. I feel like if Chadwick Boseman didn't die, that wouldn't even be a thing. I would argue because at that point he got the herb back, you know.
Yeah.
So and then he would have been alive for the second one, so there really been no need to really get rid of it, I guess, unless they accelerated the time frame. But
yeah,
that herb ate you slowly. So
well, I mean, like eventually he would have a son, and then his son would need it. So.
Well, I thought it was like genetics. I mean, at that point, it altered his DNA. So, like, if he were to procreate, wouldn't his son just inherit that?
I don't know, because he still needed it, and even though his dad had it.
Well, they could write that. You know, they could have just done something with that. That would have been a genius idea, honestly.
Well, that's the whole problem with like Marvel these days. It's like they could have just wrote it differently, but they chose not to.
Right? DC actually understands it because fucking Superman is low as fuck, and then they have like a child that's like what Superboy or whatever.
Baby,
and like, come on, Batman don't matter. It don't matter who you are. He's just gonna train you to fight like you. So like he by default is the serum. Like that's the crazy. Crazy. Like I can never imagine if he took Superman's baby and trained him. Oh my gosh, that would be diabolical. Those prep time and super strength and everything.
Prep time, super strength, pretty smart.
Right? Oh, everything's black. Black Superman. Like he doesn't even fly. He just takes a car everywhere. Just So you know you can fly, right? He's like, I
He
know.
was like, this looks cooler.
Exactly. Like, what are you gonna do? You're not gonna do nothing. Crazy. But yeah, see, DC can learn DC can learn a thing or two from Marvel in terms of passing down traits or whatever.
Yeah.
And Marvel can learn from DC in terms of, I guess, damn, I don't even know. Marvel don't even really need to learn shit unless it's talking about like cartoons.
I mean, since Phase 4, they've been like cucking all the male characters in favor of female characters. So.
And that's not even going that well. Because historically, the male superheroes are OD, and the females aren't, except for maybe a few exceptions. Like, if we talk about X-Men, by all means, I have no issue with that, because the female ones are freaking as Jean Grey, Rogue, Storm,
Kitty.
They're like,
she can just like rip your heart out.
Who?
Kitty, the one who can go through objects.
Yeah, I mean, but she's very close proximity. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like the majority of them, though, they're ranged. So by the time. Yeah. But wait,
like technically, like if you're like shooting at her, she could just like phase through it, phase like your bullets.
That's what I'm going to ask you. Yeah. Can she actually alter? So she can actually alter her DNA or at will?
Yeah, because like if she can go through walls and she can go through people, then she can go through bullets. So.
I wonder if she has to do that like consciously, like she has to turn it on manually.
She probably has to turn it on, so like as long as she knows she's about to get shot. You know.
That's it. Okay, so that's the caveat then.
So if she gets it on all the time when she's in a battle situation.
Keep it on. But then that begs the question about stamina. Then. Yeah. Like how long can she actually obtain that?
Well, she got that. She got to maintain her diet.
You can't say that, buddy. You can't say that. You know how to feel about it. But yeah, no, I got you. That's if I put them all in the room, she's not surviving. Because she has to deal with.
I mean, if they're in a room, she has a better chance against Storm. Because
Storm.
If she's in a room, where the cloud's gonna come from?
Good point. I mean, from what I've seen so far, is like she controls the weather. So if anything, she's gonna have to use the weather to break the building that they're in. You know. Yeah, I'm assuming.
But that's gonna take some time. Because she'll have to bring the weather to them.
Oh wait, but she can fly though. So as long as she's in the air, Kitty can't do shit.
Yeah, that's true. But it depends on the size of the room.
Yeah, one-story building. That's it. It's like, where are you going?
If it's like a recording booth of like for like a studio.
all two of them in the booth. I'm like, how did y'all both end up here?
It's like, all right, fight to the death.
Right. I wonder, like, does Storm actually inherit lightning? Like, she can shoot lightning from her hands, or it's like she has to interact with the.
I think she needs to summon it from the clouds.
Okay.
Because everything I've seen, I think like that's how it works.
Okay. I mean, I'm sure there's other.
Yeah, clouds always like get close to her, and she like sucks it in, and then she like redirects the lightning and stuff.
Yeah, I guess you have to choose which Storm to deal with, because there's just so many versions of Storms. There's like broken ones, and there's like not so broken ones.
Yeah, I'm sure there's some writer out there who like didn't care at all. It was just like, oh, she can shoot lightning out of her eyes.
Hardcore fetish, hardcore. But like, if it's like Jean Grey, it's pretty consistent with Jean Grey, because Phoenix Force is the Phoenix Force.
Yeah. Well, unless it's unless it's like a post Phoenix Jean Grey where she got exercised or whatever.
Can you imagine? You actually imagine the Phoenix Force just being neutered? Like, that's wild. And then, see, now that would be a nice. I would like to see that Rogue versus Kitty, because Kitty got to touch Rogue, but when that happens, she gains her power. So they cancel each other out.
But if Kitty knows that's coming, she could just turn on as soon as they get close, and then she could just like rip right through her.
Like you like turn it on, like. What do you mean?
Like as soon as Kitty knows they're about to be, because they're both gonna have to do close quarters combat. So So as soon as Kitty sees her coming, she just turns her power on.
Oh, it turns her power on, so that way it fades.
Yeah, so it's ready.
But okay, so then So how would Rose power activate then if it's on touch? I mean, she's touching her technically.
Yeah, well,
So like,
because once you're phasing through her, she might not be able to do anything. She might just lose.
do it in time. Okay, so I think it's like a time frame sort of thing. Like she has like probably a seconds to ignore the bill. Actually, no, that makes sense because I saw that when what was it? Pyro. Remember that movie when Logan was like 25 and everyone else was like 18.
Yeah.
And like they're at their house because they're trying to the Iceman or something had special abilities and Logan showed up.
Yeah,
so like
Iceman and then the fire guy and then he betrays him.
Exactly, like killed them, but like his powers took like what 2 seconds to transfer before she cleared the smoke.
It took a couple seconds, yeah.
Yeah, so she has a couple seconds. So not Kitty got that then.
Yeah,
because you have to focus your body to take her power in a couple seconds. Couple seconds, you already got your heart, so it's like, yes, not Kitty will win that one. Surprisingly, you have to catch her off guard for that one. Anyone range? What's another range woman? I want to say Psylocke. She's not ranged.
Yeah, doesn't she like have some lasers or something?
She has the lasers like for her hands. Like I think she's one of those. She might be hybrid actually, but I feel like she's more prominent close quarters though.
Cyclops' brother, he has those like hula hoop lasers.
Yo, Havoc, fucking Havoc, bro.
He doesn't need a friggin' hula hoop to like start shooting.
But they make Havoc so broken, bro. That's the thing.
But when they do it in the movie, is like, what were they thinking?
They thought that was cool.
It's gonna make kids want to buy hula hoops.
Right? Crazy. Has one of the most broken abilities to make them look weird. Make Psylocke look like the cool one, but you can only shoot at one blue. Right? I never understood that. I mean, I understand why they call Cyclops. He shoot a beam from his eyes, but he can't control it.
I guess because his visor is like one eye, the little visor he wears.
Yes, it is. It's completely one eye. But notice how there's other mutants that can control their abilities, but Cyclops can't.
Yeah, that's true.
That's poor writing in itself.
And he's the leader of the X-Men, and he can't control.
Exactly. Like what? What were they thinking? Like make him leader. A leader can't control his powers. Even Professor Xavier.
He needs special technology to be a leader.
Like crazy. Like fuck. Beast. Beast at one point was probably the leader of X-Men. Like can he control? Yes, he actually could. I mean, no, it's not even the same because
he can't like transform at will, but he's in control of like his mental faculties and all that, so it's not a problem.
Yeah, so Psylocke really takes the hardest L right now. It's crazy.
Like he could wear a suit and be fine. The suit won't rip or anything.
Right. So that begs to believe that his power is really on like rivaling like Omega levels. Like, his power is so great that he can't control it. That's the best way to put it. But at the same time, if you see everyone else who's stronger than him control it, that is poor writing.
Yeah.
It's like Wolverine was in berserk mode all the time with his claws, and he can't take the claws down. Like, imagine that man taking his shit and wiping his ass with his claw down.
No one would like him as a character if that's how he worked.
Right? Every time he wipes his ass, he bleeds a bit, he heals every time. Trying to drive a car? Nope. Can't. Trying to hug someone? Accidentally stab him? No.
Can't hug someone? Can't use ATM?
Crazy. You even think about it, like, even fucking Deadpool. That's the boom moment. I'm talking about the prototype Deadpool.
Yeah.
Like, even he has abilities. Like, he can control abilities. He can control when his swords came out and whatnot. Like, House can't. That's the story. Yeah, he got Toad. Toad at one point, like his abilities is smack that tongue around and just have the can't even.
I forgot about that.
Nah, I know them all, bro. I'm telling you, man. They really make that nigga have control over his ability. Like Sabretooth, fucking What was it? Not Scarlet. But what was the other bitch? That diamond girl that has the same powers as Professor Xavier.
Oh
Forgot her
yeah,
name.
yeah. Um,
Yeah, like she has control over it. Havoc has control over his power. Actually, no, I can't even say that
it's like
because
so many more X-Men have control over their powers than the ones that don't.
right. But I'm gonna say Havoc is a stipulation because if he absorbs too much, he has to release it. So it's like you
Yeah,
have to get to that point that you can't control it.
yeah. It's
But
like
that's
he's
very
better. He's
telltale.
better than Cyclops in that sense at least, though. Like he
Oh
has
yeah, no,
some
no.
control.
It's like Cyclops can level the planet at will, no, level
Yeah,
a building at will. It's like Solid has to he can do it, but at the same time he can't. You know, like it just
yeah,
depends. It's like versing someone that's like started the game is already max level versus someone that prestigious or like that's going up to max level and then prestigious type of thing. Like would you want flat DPS or do you want like crit chance, crit damage type of thing? That's the best way to put it. Then we got um that winged bird. What was his name?
there's like Angel, but
That's it.
he just flies. I think that's what it
He's
is, right?
like, I think it's super strength, doesn't it?
Maybe. Oh, I think like his. They had like
No,
two
I'm not
different
talking
versions
about.
of him. They had like one where like he got metal wings and he could shoot spikes.
Yeah, not the metal one. I'm not counting that one. I mean, that's like Apocalypse. I mean, that's Apocalypse. That's a whole different thing, though.
Oh yeah, yeah.
We're
That's when
including,
Apocalypse gave him powers.
well, that's a crazy one. He has the ability to augment any X-Men's power. Like that's
Yeah,
ridiculous. The storm the white hair and whatnot. Give her that
yeah,
streak. Oh, I'll make you as strong as the four horsemen of the apocalypse. All right, cool. Magneto's just Magneto,
yeah,
bastard. Like it's crazy. Like he gave Magneto more power than he really needed. He's already hard as it is. Like
yeah.
he's a level 5 mutant, and then you just made him 5+ with no scalability, like no ceiling cap, I should say. Uh, what else? So that makes so if we would follow that chain, then that would probably explain why he was able to like lift up that bridge.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I'm guessing before he couldn't really lift up the bridge, he could lift up certain things. But at the same time, like how would that? See now, I'm kind of lost in the chain of causation. Really,
I mean,
like
I
I'm
don't think they
assuming.
had that in mind because this, like they wrote that movie after the fact, so they're probably just like, he's this powerful.
Okay,
If he
so yeah,
really tries.
okay, so he's showing like this the potential of what he could have done. But I mean, yeah, I mean, he did teach him like, yeah, you have metal all around you. You can even throw the Earth out of orbit. Like, I'm like that's crazy. Use the Earth magnetic field to your advantage.
Right.
Who does some broken shit like that? Nah, yeah, now that's a mega level. What mega? Well, no, mega level is kind of a big term. It's not. I think it's planetary level. Mega level means like you can go like out in space in different fields and just like do that, assuming that you're on a planet where there is a magnetic field.
Yeah.
Now, if they were to write that the whole solar system itself is a magnetic field, then yes, he's easily one of the most characters there. So,
Yeah,
rival to
imagine if he
Phoenix.
just like throws the stone into the earth.
Yo, I'll be like, can I get a warning first, nigga? Or some sunscreen or something, my nigga. But if you're gonna do that, it has to be like within a second. Like I don't want to see shit. Just be a blinding light. Go to
Right.
sleep. And the fact that he can levitate, fly and shit, not be. I don't think he's affected by. No, he's affected by space. Well, then again, if you control a magnetic field, you probably create a magnetic field around his face where there's oxygen. So, but I'm kind of reaching with that aspect. Phoenix Force won't give a fuck. She'll just look at him and just like, really, nigga?
Yeah. I mean, she's from outer space. So.
Yeah, basically. Well, the Phoenix Force is, and it just took form of Jean Grey. Like she made her telekinesis like on fucking like damn near infinite level. Like any type of multiverse of that X-Men or universe is like there's always a Phoenix Force version of that bitch. Like, like isn't that she's just that woman? Like, it's crazy. She's a problem for anyone in any race or not race, any dimension. That's just crazy. I can't imagine.
Did you hear? Once they bring them into the MCU, they're just gonna call them the mutants instead of X-Men.
I mean, I'm not too mad about that. I mean, they are mutants.
Yeah, but they're getting rid of the X-Men thing because it's offensive.
They're mutants, and mutants aren't offensive. The name but mutant by default is not offensive. So if I call someone a mutant, like, are you gonna say that's okay, or you know what I'm saying? It's got to make sense. Like, I don't understand. You could have just said the extraordinarily gifted or some shit. I would have took that name, man. It's like the League of Extraordinarily Gifted.
The League of X-They Them.
Yeah, right. Yo, oh my god, that's getting canceled in the heartbeat. Just like how Samus is running right now, that's how it was gonna be to that game. To the writer's office of where he lives, he's gonna bum rush him and beat the crap out of him for her. Crazy.
My name
long as they
is
keep
Wolverine, and my pronouns are he, and
And she just like,
I have these like claws that come out, but like don't.
and they're dull, they're really sharp.
Don't like surprise me, or else they'll just like come out.
Yeah, her powers are like, if you get startled, that's when they get triggered, and she just starts swinging around like a kitty. It's like, crazy. Get startled by dark spaces or like, being in close confinement. Start screaming. Like, I like my head pat.
People are just like slightly louder than usual.
Yo, slightly louder. So I have the hearing of like a super mutant. I can hear like a kilometer away. It's not too loud. Oh no, some shit like that. Or it's not too quiet. That's what it's not too quiet. It's crazy. If they don't ruin the mutants, then we're good. I wouldn't have an issue with that. Yeah, so Marvel and X-Men and Avengers together, that would be good. But there's no Tony Stark, so I wonder how they're going to do that.
Yeah. I mean,
they're going to have to have...
like, they pretty much, they want to sideline Hulk in favor of She-Hulk. They had female Thor or whatever.
It's like a whole female cast.
Yeah.
Like, you really can't. There's no female.
They said they want to do the all-female Avengers movie, so that's coming.
It's gonna fail.
It's gonna fail, and then they're gonna blame us for it. They're gonna be like, "Oh, you're sexist. Our movie was good. You just didn't see it because you're sexist."
I'm like, there's years and years of data suggesting why that's not
sexist.
Data is sexist. It's genderless. You inconsiderate fool. See, look at you.
That's pseudoscience. It's sexist.
Pseudoscience. You wasn't even born when that term was like.
I don't agree with the science you're using, so it's pseudoscience.
Pseudoscience. Tell that to your bank account as it slowly diminishes because you lack the mental propensity.
Who words? Documentation.
Yeah, my nigga, he had to be trolling when he said that, bro. He had to. There's no way he could have been that. What's the word? I can't figure out the word. He was too stronghold, too gun-ho with that. Like,
because he was like, I got one word for you. Actually, no, I got two words for you. Documentation.
He had to take a moment. The brain was like, hold up, documentation. Long enough. Sounds like two words.
Wait, no, this is two words.
Documentation. Like, I want to cry. I want to cry. Just hearing that. I mean, I'm not going to fight the man that says that a word is actually two words. Like, I'm not going to.
He's a scholar, after all.
Yeah, I'm a scholar. I have two
degrees. That means I'm a scholar.
Right. And one of them is an associate. Like, it's not. One is an associate, one's a thing with the bachelor's. Oh, that's what it was. Yeah. I mean, he's not wrong technically, but when someone says they have a degree,
yeah,
they usually mention. When I think first, I think of a bachelor's. Yeah, that's the most common.
No one says they have 2 degrees and they're talking about their associates.
Yeah, no, that's not happening. Unless crazy.
Imagine if it was just 2 associates. He's like, I got 2 degrees. I'm a scholar.
Right, and they're 2 associates. I'm like, yeah, you basically got the entry level You got the entry level
Got the
bachelor's.
participation
Like,
award.
that's literally what it is. Literally what it is. Participate. You spent 2 years to get participation points. But it's like, yeah, 2 degrees, but that 2 degrees could have got you a bachelor's. In modern day, they require you to have another degree anyway,
Yeah.
quote unquote, from him. So that's a minor.
They want a
So you
bachelor's, and then they want the minor, and then they want intern experience.
like that's definitely substantial. That actually outweighs 2 associates alone. Like, I'm sorry, that's just, I don't know what we're gonna do with that. But yeah, don't forget he's an actor. There's that too.
He's an actor,
Definitely.
Oscar worthy. He's an entrepreneur. He's got the company. He's got
Right?
that shop.
He owns a cult. That's really what he does.
Owns a cult.
And the age
Not
range,
just anyone can own a cult.
right? It takes a very special
Emphasis on
grind.
special.
Like, he was born for this. That's the best way to put it. He was born to create a cult. I mean, that's interesting in itself. But
I hope one day we get like an actual documentary on him in his whole life.
I'm sure that's in the progress right now. I already know it is.
Get that
Young
HBO
Dead
documentary.
HBO doc. Yo, everyone's gonna know this man for what he truly is. There's gonna be a lot of things that come sense though. I'm not gonna lie. So,
Or if he ever kills somebody, he'll get that Netflix documentary.
yeah, some wild shit.
It's like LTG, the mind of a killer and a cult leader.
A cult leader, possibly homosexual.
The
Possible.
mind of a homosexual.
Yeah, they can't say that.
Twitter's gonna get mad about that one.
Yeah, oh my gosh, yo. Right? But, it'll be interesting. Like, a good third of his life, they can't even air it because of that. This is that bad. From what he says.
Everything ought to be bleeped out.
Yep. Someone's gonna fucking psychoanalyze it and say that he was actually some type of disorder or like some type of fetish with his mother because think about it. Every stream talks about doing something with his mom, and then you're gonna see like Ford in the background laughing.
There was that one time he accidentally said my mom.
Yo, that had me dying, bro.
My mom loves the Thanos quote.
Nah, I don't think it was accurate. I think he knew what he said. It was funny as hell, bro.
It's like the secret was killing him, so he just had to actually put it out there and say it.
Something happened to your buddy, boy.
He said, my mom loves it when I put the Thanos quote. The secret was killing him. He had to put it out there in public.
He was holding that in for I don't know how many decades. That's the crazy part. But he worked hard. He really went against the odds, and he still achieved.
He gets his memberships paid. He gets people buying his shirts.
Mm-hmm. Does that. Very adamant, man. He went from doing his nice, calm, cool, collected stage, modeling and whatnot, with his, pre-LTG phase.
Pays $300 for a headshot.
Oh, right. He doesn't wear those glasses anymore that he used to. That's the crazy part. This nigga actually had glasses for actual use, and he traded it for nose lenses.
Perfect.
I mean that. Like, he probably is close-sighted. That's why he probably doesn't even bother wearing them when he streams, which makes perfect sense. Because there was like a couple of times where like he was actually wearing his glasses. That's true. He did wear his other glasses, so he didn't completely get rid of his glasses. Because when he was doing that little sitcom of him, when he was like being a black guy and like a nerd, like he actually had glasses in that one. So at least he was like, well, prompting to wear it just for I don't know, character. I forgot the term that they use for like you play multiple characters to show off your acting skills or something like that.
Oh, yeah, just like
that's
a
what
showcase or something.
That's probably what it was a showcase. So that he can play that nigga. See, he tried too hard to be a nigga. You know what I'm saying?
Then he became one.
Yeah, right? Like he's naturally a nigga, and he decided a real nigga pretend to be a nigga. Like, how do you do that?
Yeah.
Just what's going on, the nigga? You can't stay and chill for a nigga? Can't chill for a nigga? Like what? What is it, your queen? Like,
He's like, calm down. What do you mean, calm down?
Right? That's the nigga I know. That was a stream talk. That's a stream coming out right there. Calm down.
You can calm this man. Like what?
Right? Yo, he gets really creative with those sometimes, man. Especially with the one that you sent me before, and that little bot thing.
LTG never does his research. You can research this band.
Yeah, right. It's simply an effect.
Like that's actually a good one. Research this band. It's like,
yo.
Imagine the live reaction. Oh my god! Starts googling this band.
Yeah,
like
right.
Why did LTG ban me?
Yeah, it is
3 million results.
Yo, that whole list though, you're gonna see a whole bunch of bad people there talking this shit about him.
Yeah.
Like, it happened to
the whole forum of other people. Like ltgbans.forum.com.
Like, it's your first time?
They got some members currently online.
Yo, you really kept track of that. You never lost track. Like, he remembers everyone that comes in. I doubt it. Like, there's no way. There's no way.
I mean, he tracks his followers who simp for girls. He's like, if I see you simping in someone else's chat, you get.
Nah, I feel like. Yeah, no, he definitely has scouts for people. He has people on the inside that work for him to notify him, because that's like, out of 100 people that subscribe to you, there's no possible way you can keep track of that. You had to have people scout out for you.
Yeah.
And probably like the higher tier gyms. Like, your job is to, stalk these other people. That's probably why he said to follow his mods or some shit at one point.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, follow my mods, follow this, that. Nah, that's too generous of him to do that. Takes attention away from him. So yeah, that was wild. He's an amazing human being.
So amazing that the AI can't even get him right.
Alright. Here, go. Low-tier Dale.
What's up, guys? It's your boy, The Wood, back at it again.
Right? So you already know who it is. For the first time, I was like, nah, I have no idea.
I don't know who it is. Sorry, I don't.
What?
Well, you could. Well, you know this band.
You know, right? That's crazy. That's some type of ego that's like unheard of. You ban someone for not knowing you when it's their first time. Like, oh man, that's just toxic on a whole nother level. Dale. Right? This nice little walk that he does into the sunset, or outside the sunset.
Yeah.
Like that desert.
Yeah, that desert. He's like, I have to go ask my friend, like, come on, shoot me, it's gonna be cool.
Mentally untouchable.
Mentally untouchable. Friends just say, like, right.
Sorry. Shit. He was here because your parents conceived over and over. Talk about some philosophical shit. He was like, what does that have to do with you, nigga?
To make the ultimate genetic perfection.
Right.
Result in me.
Ridicule spewed. And he's the one that's spewing ridicule.
Yeah, right? I still stand it.
Still, I'm bored. They're fucking words, bro. They have no physical weight to you, maybe. I mean, to some people it's different, but not you. Your ego is like superhuman. Like,
yeah,
that's your
ego's doing overtime to protect him.
Like if Vegeta ever met this man, Vegeta would be. Vegeta would lose.
Pride.
You talk about pride and ego and shit, and LTG's just staring at him unfazed.
His pride is
Hey.
9,000.
Kakarot, get to him. And be like, don't worry, Vegeta, I got Be right back.
Yeah.
Kakarot. Weird.
Such pride should be illegal.
So his age is what, 37?
He's 38 now.
38? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, as of last month.
Damn, this is happy birthday, that's right. But imagine someone comes to the chat saying, happy birthday, Dale.
Happy birthday, Dale.
Happy 30th birthday, Dale.
Like, first of all,
Alright.
ain't nobody tell you when my birthday is. Second of all, don't ever wish me a happy birthday, because I don't age.
Right? Like, alright. You're so triggered. First of all.
First of all.
Like, it's not first
Come in here. Wishing me a happy birthday.
Right? I guarantee you if someone paid $100 and said that, they wouldn't get there.
Right? Like, instead of like a $500 super chat.
Right?
Happy birthday, Dale. So conflicted.
He's like, Mod, you know what? Just time him.
It's time.
You gotta take that. You gotta take this.
Happy birthday, Dale, for the 500.
Thanks, man. Crazy. It'll be a wild time for everyone. I'm still waiting for a sequel, Piss in the Bottle.
Right? Said he was supposed to do that 2022 version.
Yep. Wild time for everyone. That might be a top 10 on Spotify or something.
Right? Get that studio version going.
Oh no, he needs a music video. That's what he needs.
Yeah. Music video and a proper professional studio version.
Professional, right? Like he actually spends bread to make it like top tier, and it will definitely sell. I'm sorry. People's music taste in America is trash.
Yeah.
It's like, gonna fly.
100%. This man will go viral.
Yeah. Right? It actually compliments the elites and all them. Or no, it's gonna compliment the porn stars too. They're talking about kissing in the bottle. Yeah. Right?
Yeah, he'll get all the porn stars there to like do a little cameo in the video.
Yo, right? This is gonna be sensational. Like, how would you like to work full time having intercourse with all these women for money with your DVC? Like, oh man. I mean, that's technically acting. Not gonna lie, in the porn stuff. So he is acting and he's having intercourse with women. It's like, can't get mad at that. But I don't think that's the acting that he wants. He wants to be like, I want it or something. It's like, mark my words, you're gonna remember the name of what you got.
He wants to be almost at Denzel status.
There's no way he's getting Denzel. There's no way. Well, we have a better chance of getting Denzel. Honestly. You're a different race. They're going to give it to you.
You're like, yo, they're going to know me one day. They're going to have me right next to Denzel. You're like, oh, that's the Ruined Sparrow.
Like, you got
Oscar
winner. You got to sit right next to him. Talking about being a cuck. You're going to be a cuck for Denzel. I promise you. It's like, oh my gosh, it's been such an honor to meet you on the biggest show. They're like, yeah, there we go, you cuck. Like, Mod, you know, it's like, your Mod ain't here, nigga, this is life. Unless you took your mods with you.
Real not motherfucker.
He's like, really? I never heard of you. Low tier god? Like, you know what? Here's a video of him right now. Denzel, this is him. Sorry, in the one where he starts spewing a bunch of racial slurs, calling black people spooks and whatnot. Spook. Man, right there. You got the dude, probably a man. You got the man that is racially abusing you, or racially not racially abusing you. Actually, no, yeah, racially abusing you, or talks about your mom.
Okay.
Pick your poison. Crazy.
And if you ever show any sign of being better than him in any way, he will ban you.
Exactly. But you clearly Denzel, like, you're Denzel Washington. So technically, by default, he's gonna ban you. So.
Well, Denzel, come through with that feet.
Yeah, right? Imagine someone made that too, the real Denzel.
Yeah, just change your name to Denzel Washington on YouTube and then hit him with
a $1 donation.
Be like, I know.
And then he's gonna say, yo, every Denzel. But imagine he's like going off, and then that goes viral, and I guess actually gets the real Denzel's attention. I'd be like, yeah. His publicist or his agent's like, yo, you don't want to check this out. It's going viral. It has your name in the industry. Like, someone pretend to be you, and this man just got triggered and cursed you out. Like, wow. That'd be a crazy time for everyone. Oh, man. Well, see, I don't think he's sent for anyone else now I think about it. No, I don't think he's sent for any female actresses.
Yeah, I never really hear him even, like, bring him up.
He talks about dudes a lot.
Wonder why.
Talk about dudes named Rich dudes. Rates his crew members. I think there's one we actually did rate women, but they're like OnlyFans or Instagram models, some shit.
Yeah.
Like,
but yeah, there was that one time he spent like half a stream talking about that one black chick who was this. And
yeah. Well, yeah, he's like, he was a 6 or some shit. That turned him on low key. Because like that was a girl that kind of humbled him, so he's like, "Yo, what?" I'm shit. But at the same time, she's like, "Yeah, I still bang him." So that's why it was like he had mixed feelings. Because that's probably the girl that's that girl probably attracted to.
Right.
It was like, what's her name? Like LaQuisha or some shit. Like she had a black. So it was a black name with like big tits and all that, you know. But she had the nails and eyelashes. That's what he likes, low key.
Yeah. That manly stature, and that chiseled chin.
He likes what he preaches people not to like. That's the weird thing. And like, it's like, all right, that's cool. You don't have to lie about it. And, oh my god. Yeah, rating men though. They're sending photos to this. I don't know.
Tell them to email you even. Like,
yes, that's a digital footprint. Like this, man. I don't know any other streamers that has asked their viewers to email them pictures of them of the same sex for them to rate them. Unless it's a woman, well, then it's a woman rating a man though. Or you know, that's like kind of normal, but not because that's just weird.
Yeah.
But
and even that, they would only like do it to guys like they're potentially interested in.
Exactly. Like,
because then the stream is just gonna be like them being like pass.
Right. Yeah, those I don't even like those real action ones because like everyone there has a huge ego and it's kind of annoying. And remember, everyone, I mean mainly women have a huge ego. Once the TV or the camera's on them and they know there was someone that actually has a following, they just act out for the damn reason. Now, assuming that's who they are, then that's a lot of yes. Like, oh, I'm a 10, I'm an 8, I'm a 9. I'm like, well, to who, I should say. I mean, to yourself. I mean,
like,
but yeah.
Are we all like with makeup, without makeup?
Yeah, I was that one woman on those type of things that didn't wear makeup. I have not seen that whatsoever. Right. They had to wear the nails, they have to wear the makeup.
Then they have the beauty filters and all the big light setups that make them look extra good.
Right, like they do extra, and the man just comes there with a haircut and some jeans or something. Like he dresses up a bit, but he ain't doing nothing to his face that's extreme. Like a haircut's a haircut. You need a haircut by default, but you don't need fake nails. You don't need fake eyelashes by default. You don't need any of that shit unless that's a self-confidence thing. He's like, I look prettier or I stand out more of that. That's not. You know what I'm saying? That's completely different.
Yeah.
But yeah, but once the guy turns them down, like, oh nah, we gotta fight. Who are you, nigga, with your fake shit? Like they're so they're immature in that aspect. They're more immature than men are when it comes to taking rejection, I would argue.
And they
because
also that they mature faster.
They mature biologically faster. That's it. And some people, yeah, they left that section out, and that's a very crucial segment. Now, you may hit puberty before me. You develop X, Y, and Z, but you're in that hormonal, emotional state like 90% of the time. The only time that we get hormonal or emotional really is when our dick's like up and awake. That's about it. Outside of that, we're basically the same. We may change the way that we think every now and then, like, but it's not to their extent. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's kind of what I'm saying. But it's cool. I mean, but the thing is, people keep doing that stuff on YouTube. Like, there's even updated version, like, oh, smash or pass. You know, fine, smash or pass in person. Yeah. It's like, it's tiring because it's like, all right, you got different people here. The women are gonna show out. The men are gonna. There might be a couple men that do try to show out and act the fool. That's clearly a case, especially if they're an individual that has, you know, the same self-esteem as they do. Then yeah, by all means.
Yeah.
But what I've seen is, though, the men that act like women is because the women are completely outlandish in their decision making. That's why they want to be like, I'm the most prettiest girl in the room compared to 10 other pretty women, and it's just like you're not on my standards in terms of attractiveness, so therefore everyone gets a no, and I'm just like this big old prize. If you're the big old prize, if a man says no, you shouldn't retaliate the way that you do. You shouldn't curse him out and try to degrade him.
Yeah.
It's like
like men have to deal with rejection like so much more than these women ever. So it's like
right, like we're conditioned by society. Like it doesn't have to be a girl. We get rejected on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Like
it's like you're just getting a taste of reality.
Right, and they can't even handle that, and it's sad. It's really sad. So, I mean, in a sense, I do kind of condone it because it gives them a sense of reality, and hopefully it humbles them.
Yeah.
In the same breath is like, you know, what good is that going to do? Because they, at the end of the day, they're just going to, you know, go to their simps. Yeah. And their simps are going to continue to fill their ego. And it's just going to put them in a worse situation than they really are until they find that one person that they are interested in. And that one person generally is going to be the one that's real to them, and then they're going to hate that.
Yep.
You know, so it's like, we got to fix that. I mean, I have no problem doing that. That show would be great. I would love for us to be in that show. Honestly, smash or pass. Honestly, that'd be phenomenal. Because like you're gonna see a lot of fake people pretending to be like, oh, I'm just 10 out of 10. You should definitely be with me. Yada yada yada.
I would just say pass on all the chicks on purpose just to get the reaction.
Yo, that's diabolical. That's diabolical. There's quite a few just to see how they retaliate. Usually the ones that understand it or see what they're doing or to keep their composure, those would be the more attractive ones to talk to.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh, well, who are you? This, that, and third, yada yada. You don't know me, yada yada. With your fake stuff, cheap stuff. It's like, what? No, you kind of fell into the trap there. You expect to be a 10 out of 10, and you have the maturity of a 10-year-old. That's about it. Yeah. Kind of what it is.
Personally, 0 out of 10.
No, I mean 0 out of 10. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, it would be it'll be a long segment because those things last for like half an hour to an hour. So you got to be in the same room with people for that time frame. Yeah. So just know that if you get them all triggered, they're gonna be triggered for I don't know, a good half an hour.
Yeah.
And you know, best believe when they get to you, they're gonna say some disrespectful stuff. So it's like at least 10 women there. So it's like 10 women are gonna be saying some disrespectful stuff because you rejected all 10, just to see how they would react because they lack the maturity to understand that not everyone's a 10 out of 10 in this world. So it's like, I'm also looking at the demographic of those people. They're like at least between the ages of like 18 and like 30.
Yeah.
Now I think about it. So
And
it's very
even the ones closer to 30, they're still like shockingly immature.
well. That's the thing. I haven't seen any that are like 30, as far as I'm concerned. Unless you know some, send that my way. I would like to watch that.
Well, remember that one Fresh and Fit clip or live that was
the one with the child.
No, the whole Fresh and Fit podcast where they have like a bunch of girls on.
Oh yeah, that's the one that I tuned in late to that I didn't see.
Yeah, that one. There's a 36-year-old chick who fits the bill. Or 33, and she's like, still like immature, and she thinks she's like the shit.
It's not something that I can't even blame her for because she's being rewarded for that behavior. We're rewarding people with that mindset, and that needs to stop. So it's like, I'm glad Myron put her in place to some degree. Like,
yeah.
Can't live in that mindset for long because there's always going to be someone better. At the end of the day, younger, better, more natural than them. Honestly, I mean, on that podcast, they really want this like natural woman, but they keep bringing up women that have like $100 worth of accessories on their face and body. It's just ridiculous.
And all these long ass nails and shit.
Yeah, they have like 2-3 inch nails for no reason. No, because this guy has a platform. He has like millions of people. Watch. Not millions of people, but he has like of course, no, they know what they're doing exactly. But these women see these people on these platforms. They still continue to go there even though they know what's going to happen, and they expect they're going to be different because they're not like the other woman before them. That makes no sense whatsoever. And then when Myron puts them in their place, they get upset and they be like, "Oh, you're gonna kick me out." And then there was that one where like they she tried to put hands on Myron, and they get away with that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand the logic behind it. And the truth is, there's no logic behind it. It's all emotional. That's what that show's about. It's like, they're just mainly emotional. There's no logic behind it. They want a guy to take care of them, but they're lacking in their own department to maintain that guy. And they don't want to hear that. They want to believe that I'm perfect the way I am because my parents or whatever factor contributed to that mindset, enabled them to think that way. And that's not true. It's kind of mind-boggling. Like, if we were on that show, Blaine, like, what? We'll double their views. Double their views. Not sure.
There was this one chick on that episode. She was like 21 or something.
Yes.
And like the whole episode, she didn't like talk at all. Like, they would ask her questions, and like, what, you know how they go around the room in the beginning and ask them, like, all right, so tell us about yourself. What's your goal in life? What are you doing now? Whatever.
Yeah.
So they were like, what's your goal in life? And then when they got to her, she was just like, same as what she said. And then they asked something else, and she was like, same as what she said. And then at the end, they went around. They're like, all right, so what was your biggest takeaway from today's show? And then she was literally like, for like 3 minutes, she was like, like she just did that for 3 minutes straight. Like, she did not pay attention. She didn't say anything. She was just there.
She probably thought it would be cute to not open up her mindset to the public and try to be cute. Like, she wanted to maintain whatever attractiveness that she brought to the table. And
I think she was also just like kind of stupid and maybe drunk.
They do drink, so that's also a clutch too. Not a clutch, a crutch.
Yeah.
Like, so you bring these women with these very radical ideas about their body and how society should view them, plus alcohol, and I'm assuming it's dark alcohol because with the way that they respond, it's a little, it's not wise. It ain't smart, especially if it's triggering women to be very hostile towards the man because they know that the man will not retaliate to them because they live in a very protected society. Those are the worst women to actually be with, honestly. And honestly, they don't know that they're the clowns of that show because they're the ones that are giving Myron and them the clout, the money, the everything, not their looks or whatever. That's the biggest misconception.
And then the whole time you have the chat dunking on these girls too, and they don't even realize it.
Said Donkey Kong. Oh,
I said dunking.
oh, Donkey. Oh yeah. So it's like just a lot to. It's not even a lot. It's just that's the bare principles of some of these podcasts. But it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
It is entertaining. I'll say that.
Yeah.
So they can keep doing that, and it doesn't even make it better because at the same time, one of these females actually put Myron on the spot because it's like, in order to be on the show, you kind of have to have intercourse with them, like some type of quid pro quo type of thing.
Oh, okay.
But think about it. There's a quid pro quo, right?
Yeah.
You want to be on the show for clout X, Y, and Z. You have intercourse with the said man, assuming that you did, to be on that show, that platform with him. And then you decide to make a clown of yourself when he provides you with facts that you don't agree with, and then you lash out, and then you get kicked out.
Yeah.
You did a lot more and threw it away. For what? What did you honestly gain from that?
For some clout that you're probably not even gonna get because the entire chat can see through your shit and it's probably against you.
Exactly. It's not even cute. It's not cute. No amount of makeup's gonna cover up your personality. I'm sorry, it's not gonna fly.
Yeah.
Like even if he was like a celebrity, like shoot, let Angelina Jolie or even Mendes come on the show and act like a total B word like that. That's gonna be completely unattractive. I don't care how attractive you are on screen. You as a person, terrible. It's not gonna work. Not gonna work. But again, and also it also depends on their economic factors, socioeconomic factors, and again, like no one told me this. I just developed this on my own. Number one, which is never really the case. You're developed based off of your surroundings. So if you're always around people that say you're X, Y, and Z, you're cute, you're baddie, X, Y, and Z, yada yada yada. Let me shower you this, that, and the third. That's what you're going to see life is, and that's sad. That's sad that men allow these things to happen, but at the same time, they're taking advantage of said women. That's why they do it. So women, in a sense, are being socially, emotionally engineered to behave in a certain way that profits men the most and temporarily them, but in the same breath, they're still being manipulated.
Yeah.
So it's both our faults, actually. It's both. Really both our faults. And I just wish that wasn't the case. But at this point, like they said, statistically reading, 2023, 25, damn near 1 in 2 women are going to be single.
Yep.
And it's only in the United States. It's not even the rest of the world.
Yeah, it's mostly on us.
We're shopping out. We're outsourcing women, and then being a family or in a long-lasting relationship or marriage with this said individual that could have been you, but because you was brainwashed, because you lack the brain that you was born with, you jeopardize this, not the guy. Because on average, I wouldn't say a guy is there to jeopardize much or anything at all. Like we're pretty simplistic as it is. Like we want food.
Things haven't really changed much over history.
Exactly. Nothing's really changed. Not a damn thing has changed. Well, now it's like we're more emotionally unavailable than ever.
Yeah.
That's what it is. You're actually giving us a mindset of how a woman could possibly move and think, and now we're on that time where we don't got zero. We're not going to entertain the power that you used to have, or that we entertain that so-called nurturing side of you because you're just playing too much. Either you're going to nurture us, or you're going to be either subservient, or you're going to compliment us and boost us up, or you're not.
Yeah.
Like, despite all the power that women have in this world, they choose to do bad with it.
Yep.
Like, screw leadership, screw your parents for trying to teach you better, for the ones that actually were around and did so. Yeah, fuck that. It's about whatever the Instagram or what everyone else says. I see other people living on easy mode, but you don't know what they had experienced to get to that point. There's some things in life that people go through because they're the only types of people that can go through it and still be on this earth. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not a lot of people know that. They just see it from the outside and not know what happens on the inside. Like Bella Poarch, apparently she got raped by her uncle, and then she at one point, and she exploded on TikTok and became the most successful TikToker, created music video and everything. So like behind certain success, there was something that was taken from you, or there's some sacrifice or some innocence, something changed in you that if you were to get it to someone else, they probably wouldn't have made it, or they probably would have been worse off than what they were now. So, but those are like deep conversations. Like people don't. I wouldn't think women would like to talk to on a regular because again, their mindset is fixed differently. They had different experiences. To ask a woman to take, I guess the best way to put it is like to ask a woman to remove themselves or get their own head out their ass and look through the lens of life that's rare. That's rare for a woman to do. Like I don't think not every woman can do that because they're still fixed on their fixed mindset, which is not even a mindset. They're fixed emotions. Their emotions are their mindset. So it's like I feel like, yeah, I know she did that and that, but I feel like if it was me, then it would. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I feel like this.
You feel like it too. But at the end of the day, that's all feelings. That's not true to what could actually happen. You may feel like you're the top of the world, but because you didn't live that lifestyle, you don't genuinely know. You know, you're only making assumptions because again, the facts are you haven't been predisposed to that environment. That's just the truth. So you should, in a sense, be grateful for what you have right now, but don't abuse it.
Yeah.
Because it will be taken away if you're not careful. If you continue to let outside forces, drain you in the wrong way, if you don't try to critically think for yourself and try to be around people that support you. And honestly, Blaine, I'm gonna give it to them. They are smart people. Women are extremely, extremely smart when they want to apply.
Yeah, they know how to take advantage of various situations.
Mm-hmm. It's like it just takes too much energy for them to do it, and that's why they rather let their body do the talking.
Yep. And
then that's the issue. Like they understand how it is to be smart, and I feel like if they see now, that's me thinking like a woman. I feel like I don't know the exact data research behind it, but people that are very critical or highly intelligent are often more depressed because they understand how the world works. So they think about every woman that comes into this world, and they're just being fed with a golden spoon by mommy, daddy, society, guys and girls, because some girls can get that type of wave, but they're low key jealous, and it's like women's mindset is just completely fickle. But I'm basically saying like a woman in that type of mindset, they're not going to know any better. They're not going to know what's real, what's not. I mean, in a sense, it's like they're being selfish in their own way because it's about them.
Yeah.
Like they're competitive in the wrong department, and that's kind of sad. Like they're competitive, be like, oh, I want to be the best. Oh, I can sleep with the most men, or most men attract me. They're doing it in the wrong sense.
Yeah. Wrong focus and goals.
Right. They look to these idols that quote unquote do the same stuff that they do, but in reality, they're subservient to their man for the most part. And plus, they didn't get to their status by themselves. It wasn't all women that got them to that point. Men had to be involved. Men had the power. They had to bow down for the man in order to get to where they're at. That's facts. But no one wants to talk about that. And Cardi B, who else? Meg Thee Stallion, like Beyonce, all those people, they had to sell out to the man. Not sell out to the man, but they had to compromise to make it to where they want to do. Like they had to sacrifice a lot. They didn't just do everything on their own. Granted, they had the ability to put the hours in, but it was the man that enabled that to happen. Man made that a thing for anyone to do. Man developed that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they can preach about being independent, but at the end of the day, you got that way because of a man. That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's not like let's be critical right now. That's critical. But like you put that, like you thought you look good with them $100 nails on your hands because what, a female made a advertisement for it. Okay, let's go a little bit further. Yeah, it's probably targeted females, but how do you get the money to fund that? You worked, right? If you worked, who'd you work for? You work for a man or a woman? It's like you work for a woman. And then it'll go back even further. Like, well, how did that woman get that job? Eventually it's going to come down, she got it from a guy. She had the idea from a guy. So a guy helped her out. It wasn't solo. You know what I'm saying? So, and some people might twist that word and like, oh, so, that you're saying women can't really. I'm saying, no, I'm not saying that. I'm saying the civilization that we have now, I will bet you a lot of money that it was founded by man and not woman. The ideas that we have, I will give. If there's a pie chart, I'll say about like 70-80% men and 20-30% women. I'll argue that. But
yeah, there's definitely a lot there during history.
Yeah, and granted, history itself is rigged because of the victor can alter it any way that's appeasing. We understand that, but it's his story, not her story.
They want it to be though.
They want to be, but hers. And we see what happens when she tells the story. She puts a lot of emotion in it, and it doesn't make any sense anymore. So therefore, it's less valid. It's not appropriate. It's like millions and millions of. Let's not even go there. I'm not gonna go there. But that's the wave. That's the wave that we're living in. And now they're suffering from their repercussions. They allow themselves to be manipulated by what they feel, they deserve, instead of realizing that, hey, I'm just not a piece of slab that could be beaten and molded into anything that I need it to be.
Right.
Not like compared to a guy, it's just like, okay, this is happening for what reason? I don't know, but I'm gonna try to make a difference because I don't feel comfortable.
Yeah.
Like they try to better themselves instead of just like instead of they're actually thinking about it, not letting their emotions take over. Like, well, you know what? I don't like this, so therefore, I'm just gonna try to find an easy way out. I'm gonna try to do this, that, and the third, and then when it just doesn't. This is tiring thinking about this type of stuff. It's just tiring.
Yeah.
Just can't make this stuff up. I mean, I would really wish for all of us to just wake up one day and just, go back to the way things were in terms of relationships or women not being promiscuous to this degree or feeling like they're irreplaceable.
Yeah. Or just being so entitled.
Entitled, yes. Like they took their biological factor and thought that was a free ticket. And it is a free ticket, but it's not going to be to the way that you want it to be.
Yeah.
There's a reason why stuff is free and stuff you have to pay for. One's of more quality than the other. You're going to benefit a lot more if you invest compared to what's given to you.
Yep.
But they don't want to hear that. That's going to hurt a lot of feelings. Because you're going to say, oh, so I'm free, so I'm just at a third. And I'm like, that's emotional. You're not even thinking about what I'm saying. It's going over your head. You have a lot of estrogen going through your body. It's fucking with your hormones. You don't like to deal with the truth. Men have to go through the truth every damn day. And you expect us to come home and have this. That's the crazy part. Like, men see the world for what it really is. And we have to come home and still appease you.
Yeah.
Make that make sense. In your irrational behavior, your irrational emotions, you're not there to really compliment. And the one thing that we do ask for, if it is sex, you refuse that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or it's something mundane or, something basic. Like, oh, can you wash my clothes? Why don't you wash your own clothes? This man got done working 10, 12, 14, 16 hours for 4 or 5 days a week, paying for both of y'all, feeding both of y'all, taking y'all both out, providing for you, and you can't wash this man's clothes.
Right.
He's being loyal and all this other stuff, but you can't do not one thing for him. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just doesn't make sense. And this also applies in the reverse. If the woman does everything, the man gotta pick up his shit. No one's saying that. Like, no one's saying like the man gotta be a slack. No one's saying like, oh, I have a girl do this, but I ain't doing shit. We're gonna be looking at him sideways like, oh, you a lucky motherfucker. Because honestly, that shouldn't really be happening. In the back of our heads, we know that shit shouldn't be happening. You need to be pulling your weight because at any moment she could leave your ass. And guess what?
Yeah.
We're gonna be sad about it, but it's like, but we all knew. The guys know, like, you really should have been pulling my weight. Ask any nigga, be like, yo, my girl doing that, I'm doing this. It's crazy how men have no problem pulling their own weight, but women do.
Yeah, because we're basically raised to, and they're, like, from day one, they're really not.
From day one, exactly. That's my pretty little princess. It's saying like she's Rapunzel or something. But in some story tells, guess what? Rapunzel was woken up by a prince. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, he was woken up by a prince. Kissed that girl. She woke up happily ever after. Like this, so that leads me to believe that society can raise princes, but we're not doing that.
Yep.
It's only princess. It's only a princess story. It's only a female story. Well, you go ahead and keep telling that female story. Look where we're at now. It's not even a story anymore. It's just a disaster. Got people, Gen Z, like going up and be like, dang, I don't have to be monogamous with anyone anymore. Any problems I have, I can literally Google someone, and then that person's going to fulfill whatever I need, and then that's going to be my main until I find someone better.
Right? Like, if someone's not doing the job, just don't let me move on.
Right? You want to avoid confrontation, quote unquote, instead of actually getting to the issue. Like, it's one thing if you do talk about it, and like there's nothing that's really can be done, then okay, but at least you try. But not a lot of people are willing to try. And if you ask a guy or girl, they'd rather talk about their issues or whatever, a lot of guys are going to say no, because it ties back to the women. Women don't understand privacy. They don't, unless it applies to them.
Yep.
A man can tell you,
private, but the guy has to be an open book.
Wait, look at this. Jason Lamarche is identified as a chozo.
Oh, a chat?
Yeah.
That was good, Jason. Hope you're enjoying the stream.
Yeah. But I just saw that. That's amazing. Bro, like, it's wild. It's wild. Like, see, if you think about it, if a woman tells a man their issues, which they undoubtedly do, like on the regular, like, we got a couple modes. You're like, damn, that's harsh, that shouldn't happen, or damn, do you want a solution type of thing, you know?
Yeah.
And we don't really hold that to their standard. We don't really throw it in their face as a way to bring them down, but as a way to educate them that you're falling down the same patterns that brought you to me type of thing. You're a good person that I see deep down inside. Stop doing the dumb shit you're doing. They see that as oppressive, see that as a father figure, or they're trying to correct them or X, Y, and Z because they think they're grown. Being grown means that you've gone through experiences and you learn not to do the same shit over and over again. That's being grown. But
yeah,
they still want to remain in that childlike mindset, like daddy has everything, I can still do whatever I want, you know. And then inevitably the relationship falls apart, and then they blame the guy, even though the guy tried and he's faithful and he's trying to, you know, better the woman instead of bringing her down. But if it's the other way around, the guy tells the woman, hey, you know, I'm going through some stuff, you know, with work X, Y, and Z. That momentarily lapse, they may think it's cute in X, Y, and Z, but at the end of the day, they just see this man as a... Exactly. Like, they don't see him as a human being, and that's a big issue.
Yeah.
They just see every man on this planet needs to be bulletproof, and that's not the truth. Not every man is bulletproof. We're all flawed. They are flawed. We are all flawed. So for us to assume that one race or gender should be perfect and the other is complete idiocracy, to put it lightly. Because I guarantee you, their parents aren't perfect. Their parents aren't smart as an SOB. It's like, oh, well, my parents were, you know, they went to school to Harvard, Yale, they got that. Okay, they're book smart, but in terms of life smart, you know, it's subjective. They'd be like, oh, well, my parents knew how to do this, that, and the third. You know, he made a hedge fund, he worked hard, he did X, Y, and Z. I'm like, okay, that's monetarily, but what about relationship-wise? How many relationships has he been in? If he's been, oh, good chat while playing fast. Oh, thanks. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Look at that. Good commentary. Oh, appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, Jason. We were we kind of missed a whole bunch. I'm not going to lie. But if you have any pointers or two, just feel free to
We actually
type
were
it.
talking about video games in the beginning.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no, we got segued hard, bro. We got segued hard. But yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, like it just it's triggering. It's very triggering. It's not something that we should really subject ourselves to, but someone has to do the teaching, unfortunately. And at this point in this generation, not a lot of people want to educate unless it's for the wrong reasons, you know?
Yeah.
So it's not like to better someone is to make it worse or make them subservient or manipulative towards whatever agenda that you're applying. And we can see that on the media around the clock 24/7, especially within the last 5 years. So, women can beg and plead all they want to have nice guys, back in their lives, or like what's that famous slogan that they say? Oh, where all the good guys at?
Yeah.
They're there. But no, you're right. They do, but it has to be at a point where a woman really doesn't have anything left to like live for, I would say. I mean, it sounds pretty hard, but like they have to be at a very critical moment in their lives. Like, damn.
Yeah, once they're at the point where like they've tried everything else and they want to settle down, and like the options have been exhausted.
Right. Or it could be someone that's new, like they just got into the relationship field and they just got done over really bad by like two or three guys, and they're just questioning like, where are all the nice guys? Like, I feel bad for those innocent people because they're new to this, and they're subjected. They think that this is the norm, and that's clearly not the case. There are nice guys around, just like there are nice girls around. Like they are there, but again, social media played their mind, and like they only showed the bad case of the women, and the bad case of the women that are on the TV. The younger generation idolize that. I think that's the way to be in order to become what they want in life. That's not the case. That's a form of manipulation on a very high caliber. So that's why we have these podcasts, like Fresh and Fit or Kevin Samuels or Melina. I think at one point was doing something like there's some independent ones that are growing up in popularity that are trying to educate that, hey, feminism isn't what you think it is.
Yeah.
It's fought so hard for this role to say that you can do everything, and then when we apply everything that we go through to you can't handle it, and you wonder why that's not the case. We know why that's the case, because y'all don't know any better. So you can't get mad at them. All we can do is just try our best to educate. But if women want a man, they have to give away feminism. And I'm not talking about the good feminism. I'm talking about the bullshit feminism that's being force fed.
Yeah.
The feminism that basically hates men. That's not feminism. It's a form of manipulation and control. That's what it is. So, I mean, we here. The one Turkish girl I dated was nice as fuck. Yo.
You said Turkish?
Nah, one chunky. Jason, Jason. One chunky girl I dated was nice as fuck.
Because they know they gotta be nice.
I'm glad you brought that up, Jason. I'm glad you brought that up. Because, again, a chunky girl, I'm assuming that she weighed around anywhere between 165 and 200. Okay? Chunky girls versus a skinny girl. A chunky girl, even though she's a woman with with that female reproductive part, she still has to work twice as hard to compete with a woman that's skinnier than her by default. Because again, society has molded people's mindset to think that slim, bare bones is attractive, or maybe slim thick is attractive. It always changes. If you go outside the world, in Africa or any of those second or third world countries, women of surplus size is actually deemed royalty or of attraction. So it's completely up to the individual. It's completely subjective, but it just seems to be easier to just 100%. Yeah, see? Oh, 100. She's 100? That's not. Are you saying 100% like you agree, or the 100 as in like 100 pounds? There's no way that's chunky as 100 pounds. That's crazy. Like that, I know a girl that weighs like 120 and she's like slim thick, but she ain't chunky. And she's like 5'2". Crazy. Bad as hell though. She's very attractive. I'm not gonna lie, but you know, um, yeah, it's, they gotta work. They work twice as hard to compete, and that honestly, that's a slept market. But the thing is, she has a better grasp of reality than say that slim attractive girl does,
Yeah.
because she sees that hey, even though I have this body, I gotta work harder. It's like maybe this is how the world really is. Because I see all these other attractive women. Oh wait, she was 4'11", and she's 4'11". Oh,
Okay,
he
yeah,
got a
that makes
fun
sense.
size, boy. 4'11" and 160. Okay, so yeah, okay, no, that makes sense. That makes sense. You like him short? That's good looks, good looks. See, that's a preference, though. That's a preference, you know. But we'll talk about preference a little bit later. Just remind me. But yeah, see, big women know that. She dealt me my mess. She dealt my mess, cooked for me. Haha. See, like she understood that in order to maintain you in her life, Jason, for however long this relationship was, if it's still going on or not, she understood that she had to do the basic necessities, or if it's not basic, then maybe like what her parents taught her, which was like to cook, to clean for the man, to take care of the man. The man is down, be there to support and only support, not to bring him down. Like she was raised well, or she just knows like those are all the good things to keep a man around. So I'm gonna continue to do that despite my flaws, which is that I'm short and I'm round. You know what I'm saying? So it's now if we can transfer that mindset to the attractive ones, we wouldn't be in this issue. We really wouldn't.
Yeah.
Like imagine the girl of your dreams actually fulfilling like the old school white picket fence family, like the wife staying. She don't have to stay at home, but she fulfills the cooking, the cleaning, the nurturing, the intimacy, all that other stuff. Like she does that type of stuff at least. Like the man comes home from work, she sits down, takes care of him, may even provide ideas, to boost him up. Or she may see women are also very keen to like flaws. They really are. And that's a gift. I saw that on one of the podcasts. I forgot which one it was. But yes, they're quick to see flaws, but they're not quick to really help the individual with the flaws because they want to maintain. I personally feel like they want to maintain that type of control over it. It makes them feel better about it. It's something egotistical or something negative about them. Like it's a very evil thing. Because if that was you, if that was you, Mortalix, like wouldn't you want to tell the girl what her flaw is in order to make it better and not so much to hold over her head?
I mean, if it can be made better, yeah. Like
Exactly. Yeah, my dad has that. It doesn't exist anymore. See, look, Jason said it doesn't exist anymore.
and
Stepmom
that's
works 40
sad.
hours. What did he say? He said stepmom works 40 hours a week,
Damn.
gets home, cooks for him, keeps house clean. That's extremely rare. She understands. That's crazy. She works and she's doing both roles. You understand that, bro?
Yeah.
That's extremely rare. That's a good one. He's a good one behind it. But we have to go back to those times. We have to go back. We have to institutionalize these women and understand that, hey, we let you do what you want to do. This is how it turned out. What we had before, you didn't have these types of problems. You had what you thought were problems, but they really weren't. Because you went off of soul emotion without critically stepping back and saying, hey, what I have isn't really that bad. You assume the white picket fence and stay at home was terrible, when at the end of the day, you don't know what you was really signing up for. So, I mean, people want to be independent. Now, some people may say, hey, I want to be independent. Okay, that's cool. Doesn't mean you forget your roots. You just developed a new skill. That's all. You just developed a new trait. It's all about growing and evolving. But with evolving, you don't forget where you was before. Evolution is like, it's like saying, you get the flu, right?
Yeah.
You took a shot for that. You have a better immunity towards it. But then, let's say, you got shingles or something, or another virus. You take a boost from that. You're good, right? That doesn't mean that the flu shot you took before goes away. Like your immunity is still there, but it grows more. It has history. The history doesn't go away. people are trying to remove that history part, and that's why everything's falling apart. You can't remove history. As you can see, you're trying to breed these women with no history of how to take care of themselves and expect the man to do everything. Especially with that one with the showcase with Myron. You saw that, the latest one? Yeah, Myron and the other.
I didn't see the latest.
Yo, check that shit. Myron, I wouldn't say destroyed her, but Myron was very strict because she was asking Myron about does he know how to cook?
Yeah.
And Myron says, do you know how to fight? Like, and then she's like, that. Like, I don't see what that has to do with it. It's like these are stupid questions. He basically said those were stupid questions. Like she would want the man to cook. Like the roles were switched. I guess while she didn't do anything, and Myron didn't want her to fight. Like he's imposing these stereotypical roles that really should be for the other person. He's very old school. Like Myron said that if you want me to be the defender and know how to fight and protect you, X, Y, and Z, you got to be able to provide for me. So if I want some food, make me the food type of thing. But her rebuttal is like, if you're in the fight, then I'm going to fight for you. But Myron's very old school. It's like, there's no need for you to fight. Whether it's a guy or a girl, I'm going to take care of it because that's my role. That's kind of the approach. But like she was throwing curveball questions like that. Like, yeah. But some people are like that. Like we got to a whole thing. It's like, okay, cooking yourself, man or woman? A lot of people will say woman. Woman will say man, more so than woman. But honestly,
once they say man, it's like, all right, so what are you bringing to the table?
Exactly. And then what I've heard so far in the past broadcasts will be like, oh, I'm bringing this body. I'm a motivator. I do this. I keep myself looking good for him. Yada yada yada. So it's all very trivial, physical, bartering, or what you want to call it. Like it's very physical. It's nothing that's internal that really matters more. Like you use motivational, but motivational how? Like in terms of like what, your body? It's like, oh well, you're doing really good. Get that quarterly, and I'll let you have sex with me this time. Like that, you're putting sex on a table, like as a quid pro quo. Like you do good, I'm gonna reward you with intercourse, instead of it just being that way because you actually care about the person, or you love that person, or you find them physically or sexually attractive. So it's like stuff like that's irksome. Because think about it. If that's the case, it's like, why do we supply women? Why do we supply women with all our stuff? We should definitely tell them, like, hey, do you like this? Like if you cook and clean, I'll be sure to spend money on you, X, Y, and Z that way. Like we have to put stipulation on something that should be natural. Yeah. Like think about it. Like, oh yeah, no, I get my baby chore money whenever she needs something. But the only thing is, she has to work for it. Like she has to work for a kiss. Can you imagine if guys said you have to work for a kiss?
I would never fly. They would just leave.
Exactly. That's that type of dumb mindset that people put in these women's mindsets, these fragile mindsets. What you say? I'm 34, living on my own for 10 years. I don't cook for myself. Maybe if I had someone else to cook for, it's worth it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's understandable. I mean, again, if you have the income to do that, by all means. But if you want to save money and invest, then yeah, learning how to cook will definitely save money in the long run. But to each their own. But yeah, definitely having a significant other there does inspire us to learn new crafts and trades to better ourselves, because we have a purpose besides, I guess, whatever purpose they put inside their head to begin with, I guess. But yeah, having those weird stipulations like, oh, you want a hug? Well, make sure that you actually, clean my car or do the laundry for me to give you a hug. Like, Blaine. You know what I'm saying, bro? You see what I'm saying? You're putting stupid stipulations on something that have no purpose being there. It really doesn't.
Yeah.
It really doesn't. So why would they put sex on the table? Be like, yeah, make that quarterly, or you got to cook, clean, pay my bills. When we go out, I invite my girls, you cover the bill for my girls. And then there's a 50-50 chance that I will sleep with you that night.
Right.
And even then, there's a 50-50 chance that I'll even perform anything.
Right.
Like, Do you understand the mathematical
It's like,
bullshit
I'm not
that
in the mood
you
anymore.
do? Exactly. But some guys would be like, I'm just starving for sex so much. Oh my gosh. My girl's in the mood. I'm doing all the right things. And in their mindset, they think they're doing the right things. But in the mindset of a woman, it's like, I got this guy I wrapped around my fingers. I can get him to do whatever I want, and I don't have to do shit for it. I'm living on easy mode for life. But the one thing that's going to get me wet is the man that takes charge and says no to me. A man that makes me work for it in a respectable, I guess respectable way. Yeah, that's what turns me on. It's like the exact opposite works for the woman. That's what it sounds like. And it's proven. It's literally proven at this point. Before it was like fallacy. Some people are like, oh no, you don't have to do it. Now it's out in the blue. Like you can probably walk down the street and talk to a guy and be like, hey, how do you get girls? You just be an asshole to do the exact opposite of what they say, and you'll get the girl.
Yeah.
Ignore them. Women say I want attention, you ignore them. It's like say I'm not hungry, you buy them something. You buy them some food. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's weird. Let's see, what do you say? There's a 67-year-old dude at my job that boasts about how he has a 31 girlfriend that he pays for 1K a month. Like let's be critical right here. Let's be critical. 67, 31 girlfriend pays for 1K a month. You brag about something that you had to invest. That shit is not even natural. It's artificial.
That's how you know she doesn't love you.
No, he understands that. Unless he's starving for something that is beautiful as a natural person's generosity or care or intimacy. Like she put a price tag on that, and that's pathetic. That's pathetic. That's pushing the mindset of that woman and any woman that has feelings with her that, hey, you can make it easy. I'm already doing it. I got this guy paying for me, paying for my rent, paying for all this stuff. You don't need genuine love. You can just put a price tag on it. You're in control. That's bullshit. It's bullshit. Brag about that. Like if I heard that from my friends, I'd be like, yo, you serious about that? That's not even attractive. You bought someone. And what happens when we buy things in life? There's a life expectancy behind it, which means that in the end, it's not gonna work. It's gonna fall apart. It's not genuine. Everything that we see in life right now is only temporary in terms of putting a price tag on it. Like a remote controller, you probably pay $60, $70 for it. It has a life expectancy of, I don't know, X amount of years until something happens. And guess what? You got to buy it again. You know what I'm saying? Compared to, using that controller to make memories. Like if the controller breaks, that's okay. But you still have the memories of what you experienced with it. Like it's something intangible. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. It's intangible. Intangible is worth more. Something that's like, that's natural, that you experience. Like that's more important. Like that's gonna last a lifetime. Like she came down today and asked me to fill her gas tank first. Wow. Wow. No, Jace, like, see, that's privilege right there.
Yep.
That's privilege. And we're enabling that privilege to exist. We as in the guys are enabling that to happen. Because we're scared of being alone. Like, why? You're scared of not finding someone to genuinely love you. So you have to go out of your way to buy love. Do you know if you invested that $1,000 a month into yourself, you could possibly bag couple girls, honestly. Because of $1,000 a month, you could probably invest it into a trade, skill. Don't die here. Don't die, man. But yeah, invest into a skill, a trade, or craft or something. Get new clothes. Make yourself more attractive, quote unquote. To appease them. But never lose your worth in the process. Don't hide behind the clothes or the jewelry for your worth. That's a big misconception. Because I don't think that woman respects him. Some woman will be like, wow, that was just complete and utter rape right there. I saw that. That was crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is it's sad. It's sad. Like, I've had enough toxic hot girls. Yeah, enough toxic hot girls. Well, hopefully,
Hopefully something happens and they stop being toxic.
Yes, because they either fall into I wouldn't say depression, but they meet someone that they really shouldn't be toxic with, or they just have a sudden realization when they wake up and it's just like, damn, I'm not I'm not happy, and then that's when they want to change their toxic behavior. But yeah, toxic girls. Yeah, I just drink beer and play games. Yeah, see, it's very simplistic, Jason. That's to the point. Yeah, you drink, but yeah, you drink beer and play games, but it doesn't mean you stop developing yourself. That's the thing, Jason. Don't stop developing yourself because you don't know. There could be a better version of you. There actually is always a better version of you. You just got to continue to build or work for it, work towards it, and you can still find peace. And honestly, I find it like a weird correlation too. Like you can be a nice gentleman and you might attract that crazy SOB. Like that's just weird in itself. Because I feel like that's a correlation too. Like because there's some nice guys that are attracted to bad girls and bad girls are attracted to bad guys, which is kind of weird. But there's a rare percentage where like bad girls are actually attracted to a nice guy because they want to try him out to see if like how it would play out. I mean, it's a poor justification as to why you would go for a nice guy, but that one guy could change their whole life around. And usually with the bad girl and the nice guy, that nice guy usually changes their life around. So, that's my 2 cents on that. Really. Like this, but yeah, I'm a piece now. I think gotta find the right one, or I don't bother. Right? Yeah, absolutely right. Absolutely right. Yeah, peace. Gotta find one, right one, or it don't matter. Sometimes when you don't look for it, it's gonna come right at your doorstep. It's gonna come right at your doorstep. Just like how if you ignore a woman and then they find every means to try to get your attention. Same principles in life, supposedly. You ignore it. You focus on yourself. Wake up one day, dang, all right. It's going my way. Or I met this one chick that, finally tried to exchange numbers and now we're talking, have a good time, we hang out, had her kiss and yada yada, and everything's history. It can happen. Definitely happen. I look the same age as my EP now, 24 going on 35. It's weird. Good genetics then. Yes, I'm assuming it's good genetics. No. The Lord blessed you with good genetics.
That's always good.
Yeah, the 24 to 35, 11 years and you haven't changed a bit. That's insane. Insane. You take good care of yourself. You don't put on, pounds of makeup. you don't do anything of that nature,
That'll help if the right chick comes along.
Right. Like, even if the right chick comes along, they're on the same path. They're on the same page as you somewhat, But then again, that comes into preference. Let's bring up the preference, like you mentioned before, Jason. Preference, that's another thing. See, when it comes to preference, women have this unrealistic expectation when it comes to preference. They understand what is physically obtainable and what's not physically obtainable. What's not physically obtainable is having the man that you're having. I guess every woman on this planet having a 6'1" basketball player, or having a 6'1" person that pays all their bills, that makes 6-7 figures plus. You know what I'm saying? That's not realistically speaking. Now, there's people that probably fill out 2/3, if not half of those criteria. Meaning, like, if you build up a chart where it's like good looking, smart, rich, and no kids, half of them will either be good looking, rich, no kids, not enough money, or good looking, have money, have kids. It's to have the perfect guy that they're looking for. It's like, it's not realistic. Just like how we have to deal with the fact that we're not gonna have the perfect girl. There's always gonna be flaws with said woman, but we're more accepting of it, and women aren't. Now, it says it's hard because the 18-year-olds wink at me at work, but I'm 34. Hey, okay, Jason, go.
I mean, if you can get it,
Yeah. Like Immortallix said, you can get it,
If no one's stopping you.
No one's stopping. But you have standards though. Like those are reasonable standards. I know some guys that would bang, or do something with the 18-year-old because technically that's legal and they won't be in trouble for it. And some people will be like, the maturity's not there, or whatever the excuse or reason there is. So, to each their own. But that's the preference. That's totally fine. But like, if a man says like, hey, I would like a girl that's fit, that is something that is obtainable. Generally speaking, It is more obtainable because it's fat. It's the stuff that's stored in your stomach, technically there to help fight off. Probably correct me if I'm wrong, but with like diseases or fend off of. It's like a storage unit. It's a what's it called? storage unit. I forgot what they called it. It'll come back to me later. Yeah, I'm gonna press for it. It's gonna come back to me later, hopefully. But yeah, it's like that type of stuff is it's obtainable. Like, oh, I want a woman that cooks and clean. That's easily obtainable.
Yeah.
I mean, it's food, it's drinks. Like, yeah, okay. If you don't know how to cook, somebody will be like, I don't know how to cook. Like, okay, you can still learn. Like, I'm still gonna support you if you need help. Like, I'll help. I would actually tell them, like, hey, look, if your woman wants to cook and she's not gonna cook, just be there to help her out, type of thing. It's like, let that be a bond. You know what I'm saying? What's he saying? They're saying they're too immature. Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah.
The thing with them, they're immature, but when it comes to like intimacy or sexual stuff, they're all for it. Honestly, you'll probably have a good time with someone of 18-year-old. I'm not gonna lie.
If that's what you're looking for.
Yeah, like 18 to like probably before 30 is just all hormonal, like raw dog it, whatever the case may be. But I prefer protection. But you get what I'm saying. 30 and up, they're probably looking to settle down. Was it 30 to 50 maybe? 30 to 50 looking to settle down or whatever, find that significant other. And then after 60, I heard that's when they're back to their 18 phase because they're always in the mood. So there's two chances. Like if you don't get it now, you get it later. But it's different. The sexual experience will be definitely different compared to like, when they were like younger in the 20s. But yeah, preferences like, this is a couple things like, but yeah, finding someone that has 6, 7 fit. Now, see, one could say it's obtainable for a guy to have 6, 7 figures, and there's a
they don't realize the work that goes into that, and
exactly.
As well as like they want someone to make that much, but also be there for them all the time, and those two things
you can't. I mean, there's not to say that some people can do it, because some people do online or they work at home, so they're probably looking for that work at home type of guy. That's kind of what they're looking for. Make 6, 7 figures, and they're at home working so they can spend time with them. Okay, but if you look at the data, how many people are actually doing that? What's it? I'm too young, looking for 30 plus. Yo, what do you say? 34 drinking age in Canada is 18. Wow, always carded. Oh shit. All right, I did not know that. 34 drinking age in Canada is 18. Okay, always carded. I mean, look, take the compliment while you can, bro. Honestly, it's a compliment. Youth. Yeah. Some people come into this world looking one way, and some people come to this world looking another way. You know what I'm saying? So just be grateful. Be grateful. It's all genetics. However the Lord blesses you with it, Shoot. I mean, there's some people that get upset when they don't get carded, and they're young. like it's crazy. I think that happened. What happened? That happens to me a couple of times every now and then. My whole squad, they get carded every now and then. There's one, because we have one guy that's like about 5'3", 5'4", but he looks like he's 18 or 17, but he's like 28. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I take the compliment. Shoot. I think that means you have a better range to work with, honestly, in terms of finding someone. If you're attracting like 18-year-olds to like 30 plus, 80, 30, 40. Like if you can attract a range that's a good 20-year range. So let's say, for example, like if you was 40 and you attracted people 20 to like 40, that's still good. And then like if you're like, you go to 40, so no, 20, 40. So if you go to 50, then you'll be like 30 to 60 type, 30 to 50. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it varies. Despite all these podcasts come out here talking about how there's certain expectations are completely unrealistic, it's going to take a lot more time. It's going to take a lot more time to get all these people on board with the concept.
It's going to take women to not be stubborn about it. And
yes.
Some of them, they don't change until like they've gone through some real shit.
Exactly. Or they finally realize, like, hey, I'm just not that lucky person, and they go through some type of depression about it. But that's not the time to be depressed about it. It's just that just means that you are capable of understanding the truth, and then you have a way of dealing with it than, say, the person that was actually rewarded with it. Because again, that ties back to what I said before. That person may not be able to move the way that you're moving, or be able to comprehend or find the best solution. That's why they have what they have. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. You say you're still fit and you drink 10 beers a night.
Right.
Huh. Yeah, no, that's besides me.
I mean, you can definitely drink with the youngins. Then I don't know.
Yeah, no, 10 beers and not some of them really be drinking the dark liquor though. They be drinking the dark liquor, mix it with like fireballs and all this stuff. So they're kind of chaotic. 10 beers. I mean, depending on what the alcohol content of those 10 beers are, you'll set you right. It'll set you right. You'll definitely blend in. The fact that you drink anyway just means you will blend in with them by default.
Yeah.
There's some people, because I know for me, I don't drink for stuff, so it's always awkward to them. They feel awkward.
Some women, they're like, if you don't drink, they get weird about it. They're like,
right.
They start assuming things about you.
Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, you already have an idea of what you want to do with me, but you're letting alcohol, defeat that purpose. Like, what does beverage have to do with the way that you interact with me? And if you're solely relying on something as inanimate as a beverage, then that's definitely not the person to be with. Because like, oh, you're nervous about how they're gonna perceive you or something. Like what? Or like, now the biggest thing is like, oh, I don't be taken advantage of. And it's like, okay, that makes sense. So then they'll drink. That's what I would say. It's like if you bring someone there, which do you care about more? Do you care about drinking, or do you care about being with that individual? There's no in between. Like I care about drinking and you. No, don't. No, you're not going to compare a human being to a dang beverage, an alcoholic beverage. Especially, it's alcoholic is not good for you to begin with. So like you're comparing a good person to a bad vice. That's stupid.
Yeah.
But who am I to speak? I mean, I'm not perfect myself, but there's just some things that just make sense and some things that don't, and that really doesn't. Because right there, that's where the nice guys are at. Some nice guys just don't drink.
Yeah.
And like you can't tolerate that. Oh my God, you're weird, you're boring, you're X, Y, and Z.
Yeah,
some females
find out with those guys and then they complain. Oh, where are the...
Exactly. Like you're really like you're the ape in the museum or a zoo, and they're just looking at you fascinated. Dang, you don't drink? That's crazy. Like what? No. I like my beer, but yeah, people are lame. Same applies to pot. I'm not promoting it. I just have issues. Okay, that's fine. That's your preference. You're totally justified in those preferences. And some people are like, oh, you don't smoke pot. Like, oh, I can't really chill with you. Like, critically think about it.
I see tons of chicks on Tinder that are like, if you're not 420, don't even.
Tell Jason. Go ahead. Tell Jason about that. Crazy. You messed up. Like, you're telling me you need to be under the influence to have a good time with me.
Right? They're like, nah,
what?
If you're not down to, like, their bios would be like, I need to smoke somebody. If you're not down to... Not down to smoke me, I don't want it.
Okay, think about it. You want a smoking buddy, get that smoking buddy, but that smoking buddy got ulterior motives because, again, pot is linked to a high sex drive. Call me if I'm wrong, but I've had a...
You're like breaking up on me. I didn't hear anything.
Can you hear?
Yeah.
Hear?
Yeah,
okay.
I hear you now.
So I was saying, like, I had a girlfriend that smoked weed at one point, and her sex drive was through the roof. So it's like, I know it directly relates, and then that's kind of where issues arise too. Yeah, you said not for you. Yeah, to each their own, man. To each their own. But generally speaking, I mean, you can Google this stuff too. It's up there. I mean, I just girls. I think there's some statistical research about that, how it directly links to them being aroused. So yeah, you said all you play is Dota 2. Reminds me of Taki. But yeah, man, it's fine if you play Dota 2. It's fine. I mean, it's just the devices that they use to excuse them from not finding an eligible person is kind of ludicrous. it's an extreme. Like, you base your whole livelihood on the fact that this person doesn't drink or smoke. They can be that person that you want in your life because they don't drink or smoke. They don't let a vice control them in terms of how they go about their life. I can't mess with that. Some people be like, oh, you don't know me, X, Y, and Z, yada, yada, yada. I'm not criticizing those people. I'm not doing that. Not to that extent. Like, if you have your reasons for doing what you're doing, then you know, okay, that's all fine and dandy. But if a person's trying to help you through it, don't push them away. Don't exclude that person and turn around and say, oh yeah, no, I don't have, I'm lonely, I'm this, that, and the third. You know, like, nah, we don't. Nah. Sometimes it takes a sober mind to get to the root of the problem and solve it. And you just want to get to the root of the problem or not even address it as a problem so that we continue to do it. But that's not furthering your development and growth in life. Because at that point, guess what? You're only going to be like, oh, I need to smoke to eat. Oh, I need to smoke to sleep. Or I need to smoke to have a good time right now. You know, I'm depressed, I'm angry, I got to smoke. Or I got to drink for all those same reasons, you know, like, what? I just can't have a normal relationship with a woman. I can't just go out and be spontaneous unless I have one of the two things in my system.
Yeah. It's like, if
That's
you can't
sad.
have a good time with me, you know, just being yourself or just us being us. It's like,
Yeah, he says, I do, LOL. He made that face. Well, again, this is not supposed to be like, I'm not trying to be a total, you know, hard ass about it, but it's just too prevalent. At least here in the United States. Because Canada, I don't know how they operate, but the United States is an epidemic. It's bad. Like, right now, we're in an area where, like, women are understanding that, hey, look, I can't keep living the way that I'm living. I can't keep thinking like I'm this bad person, you know. Not bad. When I mean a bad person, I mean like this attractive person. I get whatever I want. Like, you just can't. Like, we're in that era right now. Women are slowly understanding like they're going to be alone for the most part unless they change their attitude. So yeah, nah, man, I feel you. See, okay, I'm Canadian. I'm Canadian. Okay, I'm glad you feel me there, Jason. So it's crazy. So it's the best we can do is like do stuff like this, like, you know, you guys and everyone that I guess thinks alike or wants to know more, you know, just come chill on their stream like you're doing, Jason, and just watch my boy Immortallix play while I just talk about topics and he'll chime in as well and vice versa, you know. Like, we're not doing this out of spite or hate. It's just like the more people speak about it, I guess the greater chances of something to happen. But you know, you have to go against what sometimes, or in order for you to improve yourself, you got to go against what you know.
Like Jason said, those girls be toxic, and they need to get that out of the system.
Yeah,
we need to help them get it out of their system.
Right. And it's that good person. Like, and some people be like, hey, you know, I don't know how to do that, or like I feel this bad energy like taking over. Like, they might. You know, like they might find some type of excuse to continue on doing what they're doing, but they want a different outcome, you know? It's all good to me. Sadly, it's 2022. Yeah, it's going to be 2023, man. It's going to be that in like another 3 weeks. So, you know, hopefully 2023, God willing, things are better. You know? People, like the divorce rate will go down. The cheating and infidelity goes down substantially. Men and women just, you know, go back to the way that it used to be, quote unquote, you know, staying monogamous, working through their problems, you know, not, you know, being promiscuous on the internet and having 10, 15 virtual boyfriends and one physical boyfriend. Like, you don't got, like, none of that nonsense. We argue, I mean, like, us guys were taught to just have our own, like, we have to know how to take care of ourselves. Because there's going to be times where we're going to be by ourselves. We're kind of taught that, you know, like, but they don't tell women that though. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're not going to say, oh, women, you don't got to be alone. You know, you can just do this, that, and the third, you know. Telling women to operate on themselves is like, oh my gosh, I can't. Like, they can't. They need someone to do it for them.
I literally can't. Oh,
yeah. Like, or once they realize that they got to do everything by themselves, it's like a complete chore. So they don't have that mindset, don't have that drive, or that lesson that was institutionalized to us guys at an earlier age. You gotta have money, you gotta work hard, you gotta be smart with your decisions. You can't let your emotions take over. Or if you do, you have a moment, do it by yourself. Like, find a creative way to do it. Like, everything is taught to just, you learn how to do it and then you do it by yourself with no help. Women, completely different. Now, some people be like, hey, I was in a single parent houseld and I had my mom doing this, teaching me X, Y, and Z, but that's a whole different subject because there's some statistical research again. Can you, what's it say? Laugh my butt off. Hey, girlfriend, can you cook for me dinner? Take a break from your phone.
You're right.
Yeah, that's right. Because they be glued to their phone. It's like, do it yourself. See?
I like it.
Yes.
I'm trying to make my TikTok video, okay? Can you just leave me alone?
Right.
What's going on?
Like, you spend 30 minutes in the kitchen out of like 24 hours in a day. And I'm working anywhere from 8 to 16 hours, and I come home. And I do that 5 days a week. 5 days a week, I'm working 40 to like 60 plus hours, and you only cooked for about, what, $1.50 minutes? Like was it 150 minutes?
I'm trying to like boil water to like make this food my husband keeps begging for, and like I don't even know how to boil water. Like, can you guys help me out? Like, leave a comment. Like,
no way.
I legit saw that, like, well, not on TikTok, but on Twitter, people were like, how the hell do you know, like, how to boil water?
I think that's a troll account. That has to be a troll account, bro.
There was, like, several people commenting. They were like, yeah, but, like, how long do you leave it for?
What?
Yeah, they were like, yeah, but, like, what if you have, like, this amount of water? Like, how do you...
Oh, nah. See what I'm saying? See, we're doing the whole generation of this. They're doing the whole generation.
That's the Zoomers, man. That's...
How do you boil water?
That's why Jason doesn't want the 18-year-olds, because they don't know how to boil water.
I don't think they don't need to. That's the thing. It's like, and besides, they would.
It's all about that.
I don't know. Uber Eats or just fancy dining, eating, that type of stuff, or anything that's mundane like that, like making food or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not probably using the wrong word right now for it, but
I mean, they probably do find that boring. Like, oh my god, like cooking, like where's the patience for that?
Exactly. Then it's like, even if they do it, it's like they don't know what they're doing, so it just turns out bad too. Yeah. And like they refuse to learn.
I put my heart into it. Oh my god.
But I mean, think about it. If that's the case, and if we teach men like you gotta cook like as a requirement, that's just one less thing that makes that person valuable. Especially, well, by that person mean a woman. Like, because again, it's like you want to become valuable. It's only so many things you can become valuable, from learning. And if you're forcing us guys to do everything, there is literally, like, someone finished that equation. Like, if man has to do everything, what value does the woman bring?
At least that's how they see it. They see that as equal.
But even that's dwindling because most guys are trying to be by themselves now. So pussies, I'm not even including pussies. So what's the value that they bring?
That is a good question.
Sad. Listen, they will consult their smartphones on how to boil water. And Siri would definitely tell them. I know they have an iPhone. iPhone's
Siri, can you tell me how to boil water? Like, that's not good.
It's crazy. Now, again, people that may see this later when he posts it, like it's a light humor, but if you read between the lines, you understand why we said it. It's actually more serious than just boiling water. It's getting to the principles of your value, not so much internally what you think your value is, but objectively because you're with everyone else on this planet. It's like dang near 8 billion people on this planet. So there's always going to be competition, guys and girls. That's just by default. So it don't matter if you're pretty. Like, there's other pretty people on this planet. So you have to find your niche as to why a guy would choose you, and not because of this selfish mindset, like, oh well, if he doesn't know what he has, then that's his fault. That is a childish excuse because you yourself don't know what your worth is. You don't know what you bring to the table. That's kind of how I see it. Yeah, I mean, there's no other way around it. Like, if there was other way around, it's like, oh, yeah, it's like a guy saying, like, well, if the woman doesn't know what worth is, then that's her loss. Doesn't really float the same, does it? You're gonna look at the guy. The girl's gonna look at the guy weird, and the guy's gonna look at the guy weird. Because we're gonna know, because you're the guy. You gotta have something. You gotta have worth. You're not gonna operate like the woman does, because your body doesn't generate the sexual reward that a woman does. It doesn't. Unless you're like that few percentage where you're just like flat out gorgeous, and you can like make girls do whatever, then okay. But not a lot of people have that gift or ability or curse or whatever you want to call it. They just don't. So it's not a hard concept to understand. It's really not. It's just people are comfortable. They're comfortable doing less and maximizing off of it, and not everyone can do that. It's not meant for everyone, really. All right, Jason. Till next time. Appreciate you coming by.
Thanks for tuning in, man.
You subbed? Oh, appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Don't forget to tell your friends.
Yep.
But yeah, it's just a lot to deal with, man. It's a lot. At the same time, it's not a lot because we know what to do at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Like everyone's saying, just really focus on yourselves, and then it's crazy how the world changes after that. Once you realize that, dag, you chase a woman. I've been doing everything by the books, and I've been rewarded for it.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, let me just focus on myself. And again, people ignore the statistic again that there's like 2 to 3 women per guy on this earth. So they're really gonna feel some sort of way later on down the road.
Yeah, it's gonna come back to them.
Right? Like 30-year-olds are feeling it.
They're gonna be ready to settle down, and it's just gonna be too late for them.
Right? And they're gonna lose out to the younger crowd that's not learning any better. Yeah. You know? Because that's kind of the trend anyways. Like the 20-year-olds go for the more mature, I guess, 30, 40-year-olds that actually have money. And then when they realize they get turned out, and then they don't want to, settle down with them or whatever, it's like, all right, let me go back to what I had before. And then guess what? That guy that you wanted, the guy that wanted you before, is doing the same thing that guy did to you, and he wanted you. It's like no one's really evolving. It's like you're just playing the same formula over and over again, and just you thinking like, oh, I'm different. You're not. You're copying the same playbook, so the results are going to stay the same. It's kind of what it is. But what do we know? We just learned a lot from our generation to this generation. Honestly, we were bombarded from what was it? Boomers? Were we bombarded by boomers, or was it generation?
Boomers and Gen X.
That's what it was. Boomers and Gen X. So we got 2 generations breathing down our necks from the past.
Yep.
So
meanwhile, the Zoomers are just ignoring everything.
Exactly, and we're trying to be that voice at a younger age than those 2 combined, and they're still not listening.
Yep.
Like, so if you're not going to listen to your older, you're not going to listen to someone that's closer to your age, then there's really no hope.
Yeah.
Or there is hope, but that lesson's going to be life, and there's a 50-50 chance that you're going to do it right or you're going to do it wrong. Yeah, it's sad. I don't. It gets tiring. It's not like it gets tiring. It's just like I wish we had like a bigger audience and could tell these people these things. Like it would be a lot easier to deal with. Like, see, Jason was a good guy. That's why, like, he just popped up. I wasn't even expecting. I just saw his name. I was like, hey, Jason, it's awesome. Like, You know, more people like that, and yeah, we can
Yeah.
definitely get this thing popping then. From the topics we talk about,
Yeah.
from like streamers or like whatever, black rock or black gay talk. Like we go to the whole extreme and we put games on top of that. It'll be a wrap, bro. Like
Yeah.
keeps them intrigued or entertained.
Especially Zoomers, I think they need the games because like I've been seeing like more like YouTube shorts just have like random unrelated gameplay. Like people even put Sam Hyde clips over like Call of Duty clips that you never played, and people in the comments will be like, "Why do you do that?" Because the Zoomers they can't pay attention otherwise.
Yeah, they bombard them with stimuli and hope that it sticks, and that I'll be
Really can't pay attention to just like a 10-second clip of someone talking.
Right, I think it's like tens if not 100,000 looks like. Yeah, because they're always looking for the next best thing. It's like they don't know what's in front of them, type of thing. And that's fine. You gotta play the thing. It's just that our approach is going to be something to educate instead of just nonchalant. You know, like whatever. I'm meant to teach them, like, hey, look, you know, this is what you got to do. Yada yada yada. Call it a day. You know.
Yeah. We're almost at the end of the game here. This is the final boss. I think you're cutting out again. Right here. Loop. I'm hearing like some slight noise. Not hearing anything. Still just hearing like static noise. I wonder if it's my. I'll check my connection. It says my connection is good. I'm gonna just quick exit the call and join back real quick. Hello. Hello.
Hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I plugged in my headset.
Okay. So,
Yep.
yeah,
All right, but
that was the final boss right there. So just gotta escape now.
perfect.
Yes.
Run as fast as you can. That was a good one. Goody one.
And I think we're gonna make it to under. Yep, should be under 2 hours by the time I finish. So we'll get one of the better endings.
Yes. Let's see it.
And I'm pretty sure I 100%ed everything, so should have all the items. So, 100% run or under 2 hours. Mission successful.
That's good. That's good. Let's see the ending.
Yes.
I'm seeing everything now. You're running out. 5 minutes to run out. Yeah, buddy. Damn it. Then you can do an AGDQ run.
I don't know if I'll break any records, but I could probably, do something not too shabby.
Yeah, because I know you gotta do submissions anyway before they select you, so.
Yeah.
And make sure you have no hacks, none of that BS, and you just tell them what category you're doing, and if they choose you, then you
forgot.
stay.
In that case, like, I would have to play on I'd have to play on, like, either a GameCube or a Game Boy Advance. Like, I wouldn't be able to play this. I'm playing on the Wii U right now, and I wouldn't be able to play on the DS. Or the DS.
Oh, what? Nah, that's crazy.
Play on the original hardware for GDQ.
I mean, I guess that sucks. I was about to say, because if that's the case, that would have been golden. Cause I would choose Blaine and put you in front of that big ass audience. It'd be wild.
I don't know if
But
they
then you
like
have
me
this.
though, because like they're all like it's like halfly it's like run by trainees now, and like everyone has to give their pronouns. Like they have the person's pronouns on screen of who's running.
It's fine. Just put he, him. So you good. Like, around it. Like, it's fine. Totally fine.
I'd rather not
You're
support that kind of behavior.
not. You look at the bigger picture. Is that you get a clout, you get noticed, you get sponsorship, you create a channel, then YouTube pays you or Twitch pays you.
If I could set my pronouns as like Lord and Master, then sure.
You stupid as
Those are my pronouns. Fine.
fucking bad. Oh my gosh, I can't. Nah, but and then you have to comment too as well. So just keep that in mind. You have to explain everything you're doing unless you have someone else there that knows the game as well.
Yeah.
The comment while you play.
Yeah.
Just can't be quiet for 2 hours.
You're allowed to have like a co-host, like knows like what you're doing to comment.
Yeah, I don't, so I can't help you. I'd be like, yeah, so he's jumping up here. 3 jumps looks pretty cool, you know. It's the best I got, guys. You want to see a magic trick? Here we go.
I mean, every time I get hit, you could be like, "Oh, that's going to cost him some time."
Yeah, right. He chime in there. It's like, hey, let's talk about pronoun. I was like, he's like, what? He's like, yeah, they cut the mic. He's like, yep, that's what's about right.
Like, oh,
nah, but
all around here.
he, him, they,
beat you up.
right? Oh my gosh, that'd be hilarious. I'm crying. I was crying. But that's good. 2 hour segment.
Yeah.
Oh, it cracked his neck. So.
I could do
so
it
you know,
2 hours because I was a little rusty here. Haven't ran this in a while.
that's fine.
But I think I managed to do under 2 hours, so we're good. We're about to see the ending in just a couple of seconds.
Alright, let me see. Nice.
Oh yeah, you'll get a little bit of Samus lore as well, since this is our origin story.
Nice.
Some visual lore.
There's that as text. Alright, there.
Samus's little journey.
That's cute. Look at that mommy, daddy, and the birdie.
There you go. There it is. Now we're right.
Here times.
147.
Woo!
And 100%.
Hear that, people? Man, it's blazing through this. See you next mission. What's the next mission? The same thing? Crazy.
Yeah, so I think we can end it there.
Okay, bet.
Alright, yep, so thank you all for tuning in. If you're watching this in the replay, thank you for watching. Hopefully you found our chat enlightening somewhat.
It got real. You don't have to lie to those people, but if you have some some quandaries of any sort, you know, just feel free to catch us next time when we live, and bring your friends.
Yep. As the screen says, see you next mission.
I like that. That's cute.
All right, stream ended.
Perfect.